podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Sky's the limit, baby.
BoxingWords.com.
We don't fight for rings and stuff like that. I don't fear anyone.
En este deporte no se viene a jugar y no le tengo miedo a nadie.
You don't come to play in this sport. I fear no one in this sport.
Does that mean that you will fight Triple G later this year?
Como lo dije en la pelea pasada, ahorita mismo me vuelvo a poner los guantes.
As I said in the last fight, right now I'll put on the gloves again.
¡Viva México!
Canelo wants to unify all the titles.
When did you realize, Andy, that you could take his power?
Because of the Mexican warrior that I am, I got that Mexican blood in me. So, talking about the Mexican style, I just proved it.
BoxingWords.com.
Ain't no other sight in the game to see the boxing boys.
Good morning, TBV, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Feels like I just left you, but we're back with another one. Terence Crawford is the main subject, and we just want to evaluate whether or not this WBO title is holding Terence Crawford back. Looking at these rankings, there is absolutely nothing appealing on the horizon. And honestly, the things that, I mean, look, I'm going to go through it and I'll be screen sharing all the potential opponents and their resumes and things like that. And just kind of laying down my reasons as to why I think the WBO title is holding him back and will continue to hold him back in the welterweight division. He's in a sanctioning body that just doesn't have any sexy names. You know, I know that the Crawford fans like to beat the drum about Crawford fighting other guys. I've been a boxing fan far too long, you know, so I don't even pay those guys any mind. I've been here for Mayweather Pacquiao and all the other negotiations that were pretty rough. You know, I was around. We never got Gamboa Lopez. And, you know, the common denominator there is Bob Arum. That being said, you know, I wanted to be realistic and do a show on reality. And the reality of the situation is that Earl Spence isn't coming back till the summer, and it's said to, it's rumored that he's going to be coming back to face Danny. Sean Porter is the number one in the WBC as of 3 days ago, so he has the opportunity to wait for Danny Earl Spence winner and then challenge for two titles, more than likely on pay-per-view, since both of Earl's fights have been pay-per-view. So, you know, in that WBC ranking, which was just updated December 13th, there's plenty of smoke for Earl and even for Pacquiao. You know, his ranking is no different, let's say, than the WBO. The issue is he's Manny Pacquiao, you know. He gets to pick and choose. Plus, he's in a sanctioning body that doesn't mandate mandatory. So he's the super champion. Alexander Busbutin is the WBA world regular champion. Virgil Ortiz is the WBO gold champion. So no one can really challenge Pacquiao. He can just sit at the top and pretty much decide what it is that he wants to do. So that's an option out the way. But it seems like Mike has joined us, so I'm going to head on out to Indiana to gross the balls.
I speak it, believe it, receive it. Speak it, believe it, receive it. Speak it, believe it, receive it. I can't say it enough. I speak it, believe it.
Two attempts, handed bands over. Sicko hit, shot and missed. Two to stand over. Breadwinner, huh? Look who in the building. Let me check my Instagram. I might be at 1 million.
BoxingWords.com.
Yo. Good morning to everybody out there in the TBB universe. Back with another one. Another show about Terence Crawford, man. We gotta know what I'm saying, recognize that this guy is becoming more and more popular every day. But what's going on, Ness?
Good morning. Nah, man, you know, it's not really about popularity. It's about trying to help this situation. Yesterday we talked about The Voice and about us coming together. And, yesterday was troll season. Today, put my good foot on or taking the step with my good foot first. And we're going to try and educate some of the Crawford fans and our listeners as to what possibly could be next. So I'm going to be doing a lot of screen sharing just so people could see the facts. We're going to go ahead and screen share the welterweight division as a whole in all its sanctioning bodies and, everybody's ranking. So obviously, Terence Crawford is the WBO champ, Earl, IBF, and WBC, and he is out till the 6th month of this year. Manny Pacquiao, according to, what's his name? Michael Coppinger and Chris Mannix say that Pacquiao has one fight on his deal left with PBC. And don't be surprised if Eddie, who has already taken Mikey off the PBC plate, seeks Manny Pacquiao out for a Pacquiao-Mikey fight. That being said, if you focus on the WBO, which I'm screen sharing where Terence Crawford is, he's already faced the number one that wasn't called a mandatory in Igelijas Kavalauskas. Jesse Vargas is number 2, which would make for a decent fight, but Jesse is rumored to fight the number 11 in Mikey on Dazn, so that's not happening. Danny Garcia is number 3, which also would make for a good fight, but unless the offer is handsome, Danny will sit and wait till June to get 2 title shot opportunity and a pay-per-view. Sergey Lipinets, number 4, decent fight, good barometer. Mikey faced him. But I think that that's some time away unless they go straight into negotiations with Sergey and send him an offer. We could see Crawford back, let's say, first quarter, maybe April, versus the Sergey. Sergey's also highly ranked in the IBF at number 3, So it's a matter of where his handler wants to take him, what fight they think is more winnable. After Sergey Lipinets, we have the young Virgil Ortiz that I see Jemmy in the chat, and I was dying to address this. He's talking about how we are saying Virgil was young, and we are saying that I think he said something like Crawford needs to go to PBC, But we're also saying Virgil's too young for the PBC fighters. So I did some searching. Virgil is impressive, okay? And I think I already have his box rec pulled up, and I don't. So Virgil is impressive, but this is a case of excellent matchmaking. Roberto Diaz, I believe his name is, over there with Golden Boy, knows exactly what he's doing, and I'll show you now. This is not discrediting Virgil. He has a solid resume for a dude that just moved up in the welterweight division. As you can see, he started at 140. Now, the first big name was Juan Carlos Salgado. Salgado has wins over Barrios, but the most notable win, and the win that no one here would remember, is going to be his win over Jorge Linares. The dude that I've been calling mediocre and not on the level that the media has put him for years. This was the guy that beat Linares. So now we just click on his name to show you how many losses he was coming off of when Ortiz beat him. So he had one tune-up, came off of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 losses straight, then a tune-up, then another loss, then Virgil beat him. But again, still a decent name for up-and-coming 20-something-year-old prospect, former world champion, experience in the ring. Second name on Ortiz's resume is Roberto Ortiz. Roberto Ortiz is was an undefeated fighter once upon a time. He got a call onto HBO, I believe that it was, and where he made his name for himself, and I believe that's versus not Cano. I'm going to tell you right now. Lucas Matisse was his comeback fight, and after that, Matisse is the one that faced Postal for the vacant. And then, So that's a good win too, because Ortiz was pretty durable. Ortiz was pretty durable. Then you got the Mauricio Herrera win, but like I said, he was coming off of more than 6 or 7 month layoff and losses. So look, he's coming off the Saddam Ali loss and about 6 month layoff, and then he goes into Ortiz and basically retired now. And Brad Solomon, another year plus layoff. So very good matchmaking on Golden Boy's part. But believe me when I tell you, I've been doing this long enough to know they're not jumping into a Terence Crawford fight next. You can rule that completely out. So next on the list is someone I don't know how to pronounce his name, but I'm going to go with Mika Sonea. I don't know. So I got Mika's resume pulled up. He seems to be Nambian, right? If that's how you say it. He's from Nambia. I'm just putting N at the end, thinking that's how you do it. Who knows? He's never faced anyone outside of his country. And his resume, as you can see, is complete and utter trash. Now, that is number 6 in the WBO. Now we go to number 7, Costio Clayton. He's Canadian, I believe. And, he looks like he might bring some sort of action. He's 17-0, 11 KOs, but he's also never fought out of his home country of Canada. And based on these numbers of the resume, he has slightly been in better competition. Even though we don't know these names, even though, I know Hector Munoz, there's a few that we might know. But what I'm saying is you can tell number of wins to losses. He's been in with a little bit better opposition. But does this say, put him in with fucking Terence Crawford? No, it does not. Next is Mikhail Zuski. I know this guy well. We've interviewed him a ton. He used to be with Top Rank. Not sure if he left. And ever since his loss to Konstantin Ponomarev, he's gone back to Canada where he's from and racked up a good amount of wins, but all Canadians. All Canadians. The biggest name is I.E. Bruce, someone that has been in the ring with, what's my man name from TMT? Ishe Smith. And others. So Zuski really not picking up any big wins since he went back to Canada outside of Abner. No, that's not even Abner Cotto. I thought that was Abner Cotto. That's Abner Lopez. Never heard of him. So that's Zuski. We go back to the rankings. He's number 8 in the WBO. So, again, absolutely nothing for Crawford to stick around and wait for. We really need to start making offers or power moves. Number 9 is Michael Mickinson. Never heard of these people. Mickinson is from the UK, so domestic level fighter. He has 2 KOs. This guy goes down as less power than Malignaggi. And, I don't know who's going to be happy to see this guy in there with Crawford. I don't even see anyone who he's been in there with. Mike, I know you know more or watch more UK fights than me. Do you recognize any of these names on Mickinson's resume?
I know who Mickelson is, but I don't know guys he's been fighting or anything like that.
What do you think about his talent level? He still needs time for Crawford, or?
Yeah, I already know why we even talking about these guys on the WBO. It's simple, man. The fights to be made next is one of the top 5 guys over from PBC. Earl's hurt, so he's out. Keith hurt, so he's out. Danny got a fight, or he's gonna wait, so he's out. Sean Porter, Ugas, Manny Pacquiao. Those are
Ugas is out. Ugas has been mandated.
Yeah, he fight Best Putin. So
and Pacquiao is out. Mike, he picks. That's what I'm saying. That's why.
I know, but you still can say something and try to put pressure on Pacquiao, even though Pacquiao's not going. It's a far shot in hell of happening. Still make an offer. Still make a something. But
you can make an offer. But I think it's a further shot only because they used to be on the same side of the track and couldn't get it done.
I understand that, but these names that were going down now ain't gonna do shit for Terence Crawford. It's gonna just make the fans more and more upset and more talking shit. So I don't really see any of these names in the WBO being any kind of opponent, not this year or next year or any year.
And that's what I'm saying. So the WBO is holding him back. They don't have anything there for him to build his name off. He's paying them sanctioning fees. And look, my energy's the same. People won't remember this because they're Crawford haters, but I know that your memory is better than mine, and you remember me telling physically Deontay Wilder to his face, drop that WBC and get in these motherfuckers' rankings so they can't run from you. I told that to him in his face on camera numerous times. Why? Because I understand they ducking and dodging. And if you understand that, do something. Do something. Do something. And these names must be spoken about because this is reality. And that reality is, if I'm Danny Garcia, I'm not stupid. 2 belts and pay-per-view is better than 1 belt and non-pay-per-view. Especially with a dude that already sent me $4 million, $1 million less than the nigga I knocked out. So I could be salty. Let's just keep it real. I'm Pacquiao. I already avoided Terence Crawford when I was with Top Rank. I'm going to do it now? Man, kick rocks. I got Eddie offering me $100 million to come to the zone. I'm trying to get this one fight and done and be gone from PBC. I'm just saying these are the names that are here. And if we bring it to light, people will be like, well, damn, wait a minute. Ness got a point. Man, Crawford got to get the fuck out of there. That's a top-ranked diet if I ever seen one. And I'm not done. We stopped at Michael Mickinson. The next name.
I wanted to rebut that point about Deontay Wilder. Just like he didn't drop his belt, I don't think Crawford would drop his. I think it's tough to ask a champion to drop a world title when they don't work for it. Like we make fun of people for like vacating titles and shit and not fighting guys and things like that. So for a champion to drop one, I don't think many champions would do that.
Yo, I totally agree with you, right? But like I told Wilder and like my plan, this first of all, WBO ain't the WBC. We already know that. All fighters make that claim. They respect the WBC more. It's more prestigious. It ain't the WBO. So you could drop the WBO. Second, man, what's my second point fucking now?
I was gonna say ask Shakur Stevenson how you feel about the WBO belt.
Yeah, but that's a one-time champion, first-time champion.
It's still
ask Brandon Figueroa how you feel about the WBA then, Mike.
The Big O? I don't know.
Ask Virgil how you feel about that. They still calling him champion.
Yeah.
ask Ugas how he gonna feel when he fight Alexander Bruce Butin. They still call him a champion. Yeah. So when it don't mean nothing, it don't mean nothing across the board. That's all that matter. You know what I mean? This was what I was going to say. So as the champion in the WBO, I'm pretty sure Bob Arum, with the skills they got, Mike, this isn't hard to see, right? Like, this isn't far-fetched. Bob sent a letter to the IBF, WBC, and WBA asking to have Terence Crawford ranked because he's going to be vacating his WBO. That's not hard. And just like Gervonta Davis vacated his belt at 130 and was automatically ranked at number 1 in the WBC at 135, and that's not even the route that he decided to go. He ended up going to WBA, but WBC gave him a number 1 ranking. Why wouldn't the WBC do that to Terence Bud Crawford? Remember when Anthony Joshua lost his titles when Andy Ruiz defeated him, they gave him a number 3 WBC ranking. So I think the plan could work. And the name of the plan would be smoke them out. Smoke them out. Smoke the competition out. Get in their rankings and make them fight you.
I think the best thing that we can hope for if everything, I don't know if Earl comes back or does not come back, if he has to take time off. I think that the best thing that we can hope for in that situation is that WBC becoming like a champion in recess like Devin Haney is, and possibly buy a petition like he did for the Luke Campbell fight, you know what I'm saying, Terence Crawford versus whoever for that WBC belt. I think that's probably the best thing that we can hope for.
That'll never happen because remember, you got the number 1 and number 2 there.
Belt and go to another division. I don't think that's going to be anything like that.
No, I hear you, man. Look, Wilder denied it too. But to believe that Crawford somehow is going to get a vacant title shot when the number 1 and number 2 are there and willing and been paying sanctioning fees and have a relationship with the WBC, I doubt it. And remember, I was in Mexico. That's what Sean Porter's dad already thought was going to happen because he believed that Earl wasn't going to come back. So he already thought him and Danny, or, his son and Danny were going to fight. But that was just a rebuttal of your statement. I'm going to go back to these rankings and pick up where I left off. Number 10 is Quadrilulo Abdul Karakov or whatever, right? So we seen him fighting with Luis Collazo, and we seen Luis Collazo. If he wouldn't have got that cut, he was bringing some motherfucking pain to this kid's lower half. So not that much of a thrilling.
Like, my nigga didn't even slow down. Like he had the same speed the whole fight. Like Lewis couldn't even cut off the fucking ring.
Yeah, I hear you, but he was landing some big shots to the body. And my point I was trying to make before you cut me off is that if Crawford fights this dude, he'll chop him down. Do we disagree on that based off the Collazo fight?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's gonna be in the WBO ranking. He's number 11.
He's number 10.
But he's like number 2 or 1 in the IBF, right?
And that's why I asked you yesterday, do you think he'll take his shot, or would he be like Konstantin Ponomarev and say no? And based off the Luis Collazo fight, I don't think that he'll take his shot. Now, I will put an asterisk next to that and say it all depends on how Earl looks coming back. People might want to jump on the fact that he was out and injured and in a car accident and be like, yo, let's get him now. It's the right time now.
And if you're Earl, that might be the best opponent for you when you come back. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that not really greatly, you know what I'm saying, but good enough to get you back and gets a mandatory out the way.
Yeah, well, Quadrilulo's biggest name is, Collazo. I guess he got Dmitry Milenko, not the biggest or best name, but that's all he has there. Next, Mikey, which I said is tied up with Jesse and Dazn. Not to say that Dazn is an issue, as we've seen Eddie in Top Rank doing business, but it said that Mikey will be facing Jesse in February. Then we got Evanezen, which isn't a bad name, Mike, but if you're Crawford, why do you fight Evanezen when Evanezen got knocked out by Kavaliauskas and you just knocked out Kavaliauskas? Then we got
knocked out Evanezen?
Yeah.
Damn.
Then we got Kawit. Freddie Kiewit. I never heard of this dude. He's from Germany. He's got 2 losses, 17 wins, 10 KOs. And he's already facing Luther Clay, who's also on the list. And they're going to be fighting in York Hall December 19th in a couple of days. But also not on the lever. I mean, this guy, got a majority decision over Paddy Gallagher. We talked a couple of days ago about Gallagher being stopped by someone else. So, Freddie DeWitt on the list, or Kawit, whatever. Luther Clay, who he's going to be fighting number 14, also another domestic level UK dude with 1 loss, only 12 wins. Just no one in these rankings in Crawford's stratosphere. Jaron Ennis, the only sexy name, and at 15, not enough TV time, and signed to Cameron Duncan's Wild Promotions. Highly doubt they'll be doing business with Top Rank after Top Rank stole Terence Crawford from Cameron Duncan. And Cameron Duncan being the guy that found Terence Crawford, would he really want to put his next big welterweight in with Terence Crawford in Jaron Ennis? So
and Jaron's only like 20, 21 years old. Like, he's not even old yet. Like,
no, just like Virgil Ortiz. But people seem to think that Virgil, because he's Mexican, is somehow ready for Crawford, according to Jemmy.
Man, Virgil's not ready yet, man. But I want to see David Evanezen get another shot at Kavaliauskas, because he's been on a little tear. I know he beat up Lou DiBella's fighter twice, and knocked the guy out this past weekend. So he's been on a little.
He lost to Kavaliauskas last year.
Yeah. He been on like a little Spanish tour where he's been getting his confidence back. So I wouldn't mind seeing him and Kavaliauskas get it back on again.
And he lost to Lamont Peterson, which we all know that was Peterson's first. That was the world interim title he won at welterweight. So yeah, man. I mean, there's really nothing there. That's top 15.
That was the regular Peterson one.
Yeah, when Peterson faced Avanesian.
I knew him. Like, okay, got you now. All right, so that's the WBO rankings. Now, let's just say let's play your game.
Yes.
Let's say he drops the WBO belt. What ranking should he attack and try to go down? Should it be
all three? All other
all
three, you like I said, you just have your promoter and manager send a letter. They're gonna rank you and see where you're at. And then they're gonna go down the line. The other champions won't drop it. Plus, it's the storyline. Like, the story's not gonna stop, Mike, with Terence dropped his belt. The story's gonna begin there. Writers gonna be like, this champion is so adamant about fighting the other champions, feels that they're ducking him. He dropped his belt and is getting that's gonna be a story that picks up. It's gonna be something that's never been done, and it's gonna put a lot of fire to the feet of the other welterweights. And let's be real, someone will either drop their belt or face him.
And I mean, he kind of got the inside track to the IBF, right? Ain't Quadratrulev or what the fuck his name is over on Top Rank?
I'm not sure. I want to believe Quadratrulo might be with Dimitri, but you could be right about Top Rank. I could Google it.
I know you fought Collazo over there. I'm just know what I'm saying, just going based off that. So if that's the case, you know what I'm saying. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing.
I'll be honest, and I know I always cut you off. I'm just saying, if you want to save money, just go straight to the WBC. All the smokers at the WBC. You get Earl, you get Sean, you get Danny, you get Ugas, you get Quadratrulo, you get Avanesian, Josecito Lopez, Sergey Lipinets. You want Conaghan, take him. Virgil's ready, he's there. Hooker, whatever. Jamal James, Kyle Relic, Ray Robinson, Josh Kelly, everybody, even my man Formella. Everybody's there. Now, the other ones got the bullshit.
Bob, you hear all those names, and you know all those guys can't get a title shot. Make the guys that offer for a title shot, Bob.
See how I changed his mind, y'all? Earlier, he like, yo, my champ ain't dropping the belt. But, the plan makes sense.
No. I'm saying don't drop the belt. If it's all 15 guys over there that deep, all 15 of those guys can't get a title shot. Simple as that. Make one of those guys an offer to try to lure them over here for a title shot. Go ahead.
I get that. But that's what I keep stressing. The offer must be ginormous because everyone in that ranking is waiting for a double title shot, possible pay-per-view. Errol's already done 2 back-to-back. Until they show us they taking him off pay-per-view, his next fight's pay-per-view. And if his next fight is Danny, that's a successful pay-per-view. And then if his next fight is Sean, because he's the number one, that's another successful pay-per-view. And if his next fight is Terence, because he decided to get in the ranking, that's another pay-per-view. You know?
But everybody gonna be waiting on Earl. Like if you're
just like everybody waiting on Pacquiao, champion. When you the cash cow, you the cash cow. We wait on you.
But if you know Earl ain't been injured, gonna be coming back this summer, probably gonna fight once or twice this year, and you're not in that top 4 or 5, go get a title shot with Terence. I'm not understanding. Like, who guys? Like, I fight that I would like a good barometer fight between him and Sean Porter. Sean Porter, if you can't get a fight, I know that it's better for you to wait and get the pay-per-view with Earl, but same time, man, you could beat Terence and have a fucking 3-belt unification.
If I had 2 lottery tickets and I said, Mike, I don't know which is going to win, but I'm giving you one and I'm keeping one, you my mans. One is a draw for $10 million. One is a draw for $1 million. What ticket you want?
Don't matter, nigga. It's free.
You know you lying. He know he lying, y'all.
You my guy, nigga.
You know you lying, Mike. Bruh, Mike, I'm giving you choice. I'm giving you choice. You gonna tell me, give me anyone?
How would I be a friend? All right, Mike, I'm gonna buy you a ticket, bro. This is a lottery ticket. I got one for $10 million, but one for $1 million. Which one you want? I'm gonna say, bro, you know what, Ness? Give me your $10 million ticket, Ness. No way. And you take that $1 million. What kind of friend am I?
The kind of friend that's accepting choice from his friend. His friend offered you choice. Michael, I got 2. Which one you want? You gonna tell me you gonna be Mr. Good. That's why Bud on the WBO, because he's Good Samaritan. He like the fucking diet. And his fans showing, and you like the diet too. I take the $1 million. The $1 million is easy. The 10, we know it's hard. And let me tell you, it ain't about being hard. It ain't about being hard. Don't get me wrong. It's about the fighter who's been doing this all his life, 8-week training camps, cutting weight. He'd rather gamble on 2 belts in a pay-per-view than 1 belt in a pound for pound. We ain't taking nothing away from Crawford, but we all know Earl and Crawford are tough fights for any opposition looking up at them. So if I'm going to go in a tough fight, why won't I go in a tough fight on pay-per-view for 2 belts? Like, you're not making sense. Like, yeah, maybe Bob can knock off some of them dudes. Maybe some of these dudes in the WBC will take a belt. Maybe. Sean and Danny, you got to come heavy. Urgas might drop his WBA regular fucking vacant eliminator, whatever bullshit. Go at Urgas. Quadratulo, we seen that shit ain't even it. Avenizin, he just lost to fucking Kavalaskas 3 fights ago by knockout. Josecito Lopez made a good account of himself versus Thurman. Thurman is on that elite level. Not a bad fight. Is it the fight I want? No, but it's not a bad fight. Josecito been in there with fucking Canelo. You know, he been in there with Ortiz. He been in there with Thurman. It's a name to help Crawford build his fucking star power. Lipinets is there. And that's it, because the rest is real low.
I like Lipinets, you know what I'm saying? I think he's well, not a damn good fighter because, you know what I'm saying, he did lose to Mikey at 140, and we see how Mikey fared at 147, but maybe Lipinets is stronger at 147 or something like that, but I think he's a good fighter, but I don't know if he's like the upper echelon of like the welterweight division. Now, I get your points in this, you know what I'm saying, and I agree, and I've been over here, you know what I'm saying, trying to wrap my head around this whole thing, but I'm just at a mindset that this guy been this stubborn for this long, and asking him to drop a belt, it's kind of a hard thing to do, you know what I'm saying? Like, most champions ain't gonna drop belts unless they moving up in the weight division. I think the best thing that we can hope for is a fight with a Lipinets, or a fight with a Ugas. Well, not Ugas, because you said Ugas busy. But man, it's looking bleak. Like, I don't even know where Terence Crawford goes from here in 2020. Like, well, who does he fight next?
My next option for him, if you don't mind me cutting you off, ask the WBO to let you move up and beat up Patrick Teixeira. Teixeira is not what he looked like versus Adames. Now, maybe he is. Maybe he's changed. But Teixeira has been beaten by lesser men. Okay? And the men that beat him, I don't think could hold the candle to Crawford. Maybe Crawford could do it and further cements legacy like that, because, you know, it's not, this move won't make you get the welterweight fights, but it will cement legacy, you know? So he lost to Curtis Stevens. Stevens has always been a small 60-pounder, so much so that now at this age, he's moved down to 54, and I'll click on his resume just to prove that. There you go. Now, and we'll go all the way from the beginning so you can see how high he started. But that's what I'm saying. He's small. He started at 75. And look at his height. 5'7". Remember, we were talking about people 5'8" at 135 the other day. And he moved down to 53, which is 54, you know? So that's, I don't know, maybe that fight in the meantime, because right now you don't got no mandatory because you took care of him. You don't got no available voluntary unless your promoter sends the bag to Lipinets, Danny, and Sean. So what do you do next? Do you really fight these fucking dudes we talked about? You know? Volk is off the table. Danny off the table. Lipinets on the table. Ortiz, I don't believe will take it. I don't even know this guy. Mikhail Shanoya, Costio Clayton, Mikhail Zuski, Michael Mickinson. I'm telling you, I honestly am afraid to see what's next, bro. Like, there's an article on ESPN that I refuse to read it because I want to do that as another show. Maybe tomorrow. We're going to keep all Crawford week. But they got something.
Pose like the questions like we did earlier to the people, like, who should Crawford fight next?
Yeah.
And should he drop to the WBO?
Absolutely. We need to pose the question because, I mean, we got to take some sort of survey. What do they think he should do. Now that you got all the facts, man, remove the hatred and the constant need to defend.
Yeah.
Remove that hatred and the constant need to defend. Let's come up with a solution. Where does he go? Fine, you think he's great, bro. That's why I put it in the title. He's pound for pound, but is this title holding him back? Going out to the callers. Oh, shit. My bad. I always screen share more than I have to.
Don't forget, if you listen right now on YouTube, smash that thumbs up button. It helps with the visibility of the show. If you want to go one step farther, head over to the patreon.com/theboxingvoice and sign up for as little as $3 a month.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
It is hard to continue developing new content and covering the sport as thorough as we do without contributions from loyal listeners like you. If you enjoyed listening to the Boxing Voice Radio and find it informative and entertaining, please consider making a donation.
Going out to Boomerang in Detroit.
Motherfucking murder, mayhem, last words of the stainless. Told you I would kill you, squeeze after I aim it. If you're talking money, then you're speaking my language. Or shut the fuck up in grown folks' conversation.
Mike, Ness.
Morning.
Yo, happy Monday and shit. Thanks for another morning show. As you can hear, I'm waking up with my morning blunt in a morning episode of TBV, so I'm good. Yeah, man, that shouldn't even have to be a conversation about Crawford having to drop his belt. Like, I'm so tired of this across the street shit. Even Wilder said, ain't no across the street shit. Jamal Charlo said, ain't no across the street shit.
And both of them ain't getting the fights they want either. It ain't no across the street, but I don't see Wilder getting the AJ fight. Ain't no across the street, but I don't see Jamal getting none of the fights.
Yeah, true enough, but that don't change the fact for what it is. It's just a sad day, man.
That's just deflection, champ. He's saying it ain't no across the street to redirect the pressure on the other side. But the bottom line is the other side facing each other. The other side making legacy and being great.
Yeah, but you doing that by boxing another man out, which don't make no sense because it lead a question: are you really that great? You know what I'm saying?
We spoke about this in the heavyweight division. Didn't AJ and Wilder both use the words and terms freeze out?
Yeah,
it don't make it right, though, Ness. It don't make it good. Don't make it right.
It make it reality. It make it reality. It make it reality, and y'all got to get on board, man. You got to change your destiny.
Niggas boxing somebody out.
You got to change your destiny. Can't nobody else do it. You can sit there and pout all you want and think shit's supposed to go the way they're supposed to all you want, but it don't. It don't go the way you want.
Yeah. I'm not gonna waste my boomerang on this. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna come back in a minute. Like I say, I just woke up. I'm just smoking my blunt, so I might not be fully here yet. Peace.
Get right from the mind, Stainless. You know what I'm saying? Get yourself together right quick.
All right, man. Thank you for calling in. We're going to go out to Boomerang. J. Mac, a.k.a. Joshua. Yeah.
Joshua
I guess when you a hater, somebody upgrades you because Jordan from Florida want to hear him double time.
My nigga Josh, what up, baby? Let him know.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. How you guys doing?
It's a good morning, ain't it?
It's a great morning. You want to ask me the questions or you want me to just run it?
Should Bud drop his WBO title?
No.
Why?
Because, like we said, I read, like Dolomite said in the chat, boxing needs to return back to what it used to be. The fans demand the fights. The fighters fight the fights. The promoter makes the fights. It seemed like, I'm not saying these guys shouldn't get their money in the sport by no means, because I want them to get paid for it. But it seemed like money is getting in the way of too much boxing decisions, and everybody's turning to businessmen instead of fighters. Nobody is proving a point of wanting to be the best in the sport no more. It's always some type of cross street excuses or negotiated excuses. Real fighters should just make the fights happen like it used to be, and it could still be that way. What's the next question?
What's next for Bud? Who you want to see him fight?
Listen, he rightfully, if Bud can't make these fights before, if Bud resign with Top Rank or resign with somebody, he need to have fights and contracts. He need to be in a situation where he needs to demand fights. He don't need to be resigning with nobody where he can't get these fights. I'm not for him resigning with Top Rank, but if he has to finish out fighting the Josh Taylors and what have you, his contract that's supposed to go out to 2020 or whatever, because I don't think he have this lifetime deal like y'all said. He got to fight who need to fight. And the last thing I wanted to cook on, it's funny how Ness want him to drop the title when Danny Garcia is ranked third. So PBC could sweep right in and get all 4 belts. And
Beat it, Joshua. I also asked Wilder to drop his belt, man. Try again. Robert Bonilla, Boomerang.
What up, Robert?
Yo, what's up, fellas?
What up?
What's up, Bomb?
You know what, Ness? Like, it's crazy, man, because it's across the street shit. It is a real thing. None of us like it, but it's a thing. And it's a thing that's killing the sport. You know what I mean? Like, these promoters got to sit down and make the best fights. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They need to do it. There's no option, man. Like, so let's say Spence rides off into the sunset and beat everybody over on that side of the street, but he never fought Terence Crawford. Okay, is he the best ever in that division? No, he didn't fight the best. So if they're gonna think about legacy, yeah, they're building legacy fighting each other, but you got to fight everybody, even if they are across the street. I'll get back on the Boomerang.
We got a couple of super chats I want to get to right quick. You know what I'm saying? Stainless was super chat. Cause this goes to Mike TBB's paycheck. Hashtag TBB for life. Then come back with another one. Yo, post the GoFundMe link in for Mike's van. Hashtag TBB for life. I'll post it in the chat in a second. Milo's LB says Crawford versus Texteria, WBO 154 title, 4th weight division. Hey man, sounds good. Sounds real good. Alexander Wilson says, I wouldn't be surprised if they make Crawford / Mikey, since Hearn and Aram have co-promoted fights. That could be Mikey's next big fight. I don't know, man. I don't think.
Yeah, right.
If you're DAZN, you don't waste Mikey by either, because we know Bob not gonna send Terence over to the DAZN. That's just not gonna happen.
Yep, he's flagship. Stay on they networks, man.
Oh, we got a resurgence.
Oh.
Boy, bruh, Bud bring him out. RMV comes with a super chat and says, Bud ain't shit, and he will never be shit. And yes, one time has a loss.
Because he dared to fight great.
Because he did, but I thought that was like shit or something. Because remember how the first two were? You know what I'm saying? Like the little blank.
No, he put one time has a loss, and then what's that word with the EP is like epi. You know when you got the bunch of dot periods at the end of the sentence.
Oh man, I don't fucking know, man. Nigga, this ain't no fucking literature class. R&V. Come with that bullshit in here.
Because I think that's supposed to like represent,
like
suspense or thought.
Yeah, something like that. And one more from Jazz 11. Crawford needs to be asked, why did you resign with Top Rank knowing it would be hard to make fights if you did? Damn right.
But he gonna just tell you what they told him because they said they could make the fight. You hear his interviews, y'all. Listen, y'all still got the wrong energy. Y'all still calling in, talking about he don't need the. All right, so tell us what should he do? Oh, these guys should be fighting, but they not, man. As a boxing fan, what you gonna do? You want those 15 names I said for the next 5 years? Like, give us a fucking solution. Stop saying, oh, they need to fight him. These guys. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. The same way Bob wasn't giving everybody the Pacquiao fight, and fucking Pacquiao had 3 Timothy Bradley fights, 4 Manny Marquez fights, 3 fucking Morales fights, okay? Like, dudes do in-house. That's just part of it, man. Stop. It's part of business. Like, they gotta eat. And the way you eat the most is when you got both fighters. They not taking them across the street. Not no time soon. No time soon.
The only way you get away from being that only in-house shit, if you're the money man, like Canelo, like Joshua, like Floyd back in the day, like Oscar.
And you still do in-house though, Mike.
I know, but still, like you could like Canelo, for instance, he called Kovalev. Kovalev not in-house at all.
No, absolutely right. But he went through some in-house. You know, he'll take some in-house on. He got hit. Didn't he fight Lemieux? Oh no, Canelo never fought Lemieux. That was Triple G.
They wanted to make that fight, but Lemieux lost to Billy Joe real bad.
You see, people talk shit about Canelo. Look, he was rumored to be taking on Lemieux, Saunders, the dude with the mustache. He ain't fight none of them dudes.
Spike O'Sullivan, I'm glad he didn't fight him. We would beat his ass. Ryan the 870 says, if they want it that bad, send him to Fox for one fight. I agree. I agree with that, Ryan.
Nah, man, it ain't no sin. Bob ain't giving up his fighter, and that's what I'm saying. This show is about reality, people. Bob ain't sending Bud nowhere. This is reality. This is a purse biz. I'm setting up a purse biz situation. What don't y'all see?
But now, speaking on reality real quick, we got another super chat from Drink More Water. Bud not dropping the WBO to take 30% in a WBC purse bid.
Mandatory, no rematch clause. I'm giving you a perfect scenario. If you don't want that, fuck it then. Listen, you know why I told Wilder to drop the belt, Mike? Because I know my motherfucking champion can beat any other champion and get a belt. You don't need that. You are the belt. You are better than them in my eyes. As a fan, I think you better. So for Crawford fans, you thought he was better. He gonna get another belt because he that good. That's what I tried to tell my champion. But my champion, he got the WBC. So he like, yo, look, I'm not really dropping my shit. The WBO just started in like 1998 or 99. Get rid of that shit. I don't know what year it started. 60-something?
That's IBO.
Oh.
Remember the guy from the IBO, you used to work with the guy from the WBO in the 80s.
I'm going to Google it. I'm going to get to a call. It looks like we got another boomerang. We're going to get to Seattle, Washington.
Mr. PBC, baby.
BoxingWords.com. I'm the finest. Canelo talking about he believe he can win. Go to my kitchen. Get the sharpest knife and cut the bullshit out. I don't care what you do good. I do every fucking thing great.
Mr. PBC, baby.
1998, 1988, 10-year fucking difference. Is still younger than the WBC. WBC is more prestigious.
I'm not trying to.
Oh no. That I mean, look, you know my swag ain't addressed to that
Zach
too.
Ed Levine coming on and said I was working with the WBO back in the 80s. That's the only reason.
Yeah, I know.
I do.
What I'm saying is, the way I said it don't mean I'm addressing it. I'm just saying it out in the air. Like 10-year difference don't matter. Like that shit don't matter. Everybody know. Everybody want the WBC. Everybody know that. You can have the WBO, you can have the WBA, you can have the IBF, but you always want the WBC. So if it ain't the WBC, drop that shit. Go get them belts from them boys that's running from you. It's simple. And you going to have a purse bid situation. You got ESPN with the big buku bucks. You got Bob Arum been a lawyer all his life. They're going to set you up right. And you're going to walk away with them unified belts. And then you go back and get Paco to set you back up with the WBO. Because guess what? He going to know that it was all strategic. You know, but the point is, we need a plan. Because we just showed you the top 15 in WBO. We need a plan or we going to be spoon-fed garbage. Dom, Seattle, talk to me.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was good. Good morning, y'all. Here we go again with Terence Crawford again.
The hottest topic right now, man.
Yeah, hell yeah, I guess. So what was the questions? Let me get them.
Should Terence Crawford drop his WBO title?
And get sanctioned in the other 3 sanctioning bodies?
I'm gonna go off what's gonna happen, and I feel like he's not gonna do that. And I'm not gonna predict. I'm not gonna go and say what he needs to do, because we already know he already signed with Bob Arum for $25 to life. Next question.
I mean, well, you're not trying to help the situation, you know.
All right, who should he fight next? I mean, he's living in reality, Ness. I'm just saying.
Shane Porter.
Oh,
I'm
man, be
predicting
respectful.
he's gonna fight.
So he's in two different
I'm
realities right now.
He ain't been respectful to his own fighters on PBC. Damn.
Yeah, go for it. I mean, if that's your homeboy, I mean, fuck it. This is about money and legacy. You know, I think that's what should really happen. If he really wants to test himself, or if he's gonna keep on testing himself against prospects, he's never gonna be good. You know, Kavalauskas was tearing that ass up for a little bit. But what's the next question?
That's it, man. There's only two.
Yeah, what should he do next, bro? But you already said you want Mosley. I mean, Sean.
He said he want
Yeah,
Mosley.
but he's talking
fight
about going to
Mosley.
160 division, right?
What?
160. No, I think.
Yeah, I
I think.
He was playing, man. Come on, bro. You don't sarcasm, champ. Troy, Boomerang.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes.
How's it going, Troy?
Wonderful. How you doing? How you doing? You know, I don't understand how dropping a belt will get you anything, but maybe you can explain that when I hang up. It's not, and you know what? When you have these conversations, is best, and I'm saying this to the other callers, to arm yourself with some knowledge. Nobody on the PBC is promoted by the PBC. They're all, because it's not a promotional company. All of them out there have other promoters that they deal with. Some are self-promoted, so there is no across the street because the PBC is not a promotional company. Now, what does that mean? That simply means that they're being told by someone, you don't want to take that fight over here with this one and that one. I'll pay you this and that, and I don't know why, but that's what they're being told.
Are you going to talk about the topic?
I am talking about the topic, sir.
Really?
About, you told me,
so you want Crawford to drop the WBO or not?
I got him this. So
I just said no.
Yeah. With that being said, Troy, who should he fight since the PBC don't have a promoter?
Who? You talking about Crawford?
Yes, from that side.
Okay, should. I'm glad you used that word. He should fight Spence, but it's up to Spence to make that fight because,
Troy,
Spence is hurt right now, but
yeah, he hurt right now. Let's be realistic.
Right. But take that out of the equation. Spence is self-promoted, so that should be an easy fight to make.
That dude be wasting his call. He need to Google, man. Google's his friend. Why does he do that to himself?
And Troy, the only reason that said he should drop the belt is to get ranked in another sanctioned body. I don't agree with it, but on this point of view, it means he can't get the fights anyway, being a WBO champion. So why not get ranked in another sanctioned body and force those guys to either fight you or drop the belt? Similar thing that he told Wilder to do months ago.
And not only that, again, we can't leave out the media storm that is going to cause. The amount of outlets that are going to reach out to this dude to hear his story, to put it out there, like, who's ducking you? Like, a champion drops a belt because other champions ain't fighting him, so he's ranking himself, like, to come for them. Like, dog, that's a story. The press will get behind it. I mean, they could fucking hold the press. Again, bring it back to the old days. You know what they could do. Drop that shit in the fucking garbage. But you don't want to do that because you want to stay cool with Paco. When you get the other ones, you come back. But, hold the press conference. Have Paco there. Do it in front of Paco. Say, Paco, man, thank you. But they obviously afraid of me and they afraid of you. I'm going to go get them other ones and bring them back to you. Talk greasy. It's easy. CYP, talk to me.
Give me 2 minutes.
All right, super chat coming from Rod and 870. That's my point, Ness. It's not happening. PBC is greater than Top Rank.
I mean, if they greater, cool. Go ahead and get ranked in them sanctioning bodies. All you need is the WBC, man. Simple. And there's no, listen to me. Bob already got a relationship. I'm glad I said that right now. It just blew up in my fucking head. I just had the 4th of July go off in there. Bob just did it for Vasil. He just did it for Vasil. He called Suleiman and he said, yo, bruh, I need this vacant title shot with Luke Campbell. Now all he got to do is say, yo, bruh, you see what they doing to my mans in them? Rank them. Rank them. We coming. And you know what it means for you, Suleiman. No, but Mr. Bob Arum, man, you know that Al Heyman and I do good bid. Purse bid. You want your percent? I was at the Mexico convention. These champions already ducking your 3%. I'm going to make sure you get it. You see Crawford fight and all his purses on Nevada. We don't hide shit. Ain't no 2 companies. Ain't no double promoter checks. None of that backdoor shit. WBO get all day money. Do you want to get all your money? Niggas need to hire me, man. I'll get you a fight in a motherfucking heartbeat. I'm telling you right now.
I don't know why you ain't branched off into like trying to sign you a fighter. That you got
it's gonna happen, man. I'm young. It's gonna happen. Listen, look at Lou. Lou left HBO, and he was Peter Nelson or Espinoza, equivalent of. He left them, man, like 20-something years ago, and he's a promoter. Like it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
I think Lou had hair when he left HBO.
No, yo. I told y'all, man, I watched Lou from big to get back in, like, man, and he was dating that Corona chick, Samantha, man. I'm telling you, Lou, that man, bro. I'm telling you.
Tell like Lou got a little swag about himself.
No, hell yeah,
way he talk, way he walk, got a little earring in his ear.
His Sergio Martinez days, I'm telling you, he must have been single because he was like chilling. You couldn't see. He was, because Martinez was blowing and he had him in Madison Square Garden. I'm just saying, my man was walking all around with the little glass, with the little black straw. You know, he had some cognac, you know what I'm saying? Butter velour jacket. Yo, Lou was that man in them Sergio Martinez days, bro. I'm telling you, he was in shape too. Like, but let's see what we got.
CYP right quick.
Is he ready?
Are you ready, big dog, or what?
Suspensefully waiting.
3.
Hold on, man. Hold on. I got a client. Give me a minute.
We'll be back. We'll be back.
Yep.
We got Pat in Beantown.
Up, Pat.
Pat, are you working? Pat is working. New Money, talk to us.
New Money in the UK. What's up, baby?
New Money gotta unmute. There you
money
go.
On top of money. Money on top of money. What's going on, boys? Elliot Ness.
What up? What up?
Good.
You got them racks coming in, baby. What up, homie?
It was a splendid weekend, lads. I'm not gonna lie to you. I just sent my bets to the to the conversation. I put up 11 racks, won a nice 8 on top, man. Well, yeah, a nice 8 on top, man. Terence,
what did you bet?
Yeah, man.
So I bet I done a threefold on Jamal Charlo and Teofimo Lopez and Terence Crawford. On a separate one, I done Teofimo Lopez and I done a 5 on a $5,000 on just Crawford and Teofimo Lopez. Before you lock me, am I allowed to plug the Insta?
Yeah, champ. Go ahead. That's your call, man. You can do what you want.
The Insta's Life's a Gamble _101. Obviously, I'm a sports bettor, sports connoisseur. I can teach you how to bet. Just message me up, hit me up. You know what it is, man. Money on top of money, man.
Yeah, but it sounds like your way of betting you need a lot of money because you betting for the favorites.
Nah. You don't need a lot of money, man. You don't need a lot of money, man.
You can bet 50 if you know you're going to win and win some money.
If you look at my Insta, I started from very, very small, like very infantile stages. I worked my way up. Of course, you got to do like save your money, but you got to believe in it. And then once you start building, you build greater. And it's like anything. It's like a little business. Obviously, you probably started TBV. It was very small, but now it's on a large scale. Everything starts small. You build it big.
Absolutely.
I hear you, champ. I know you keep winning every week. I see you on Insta, so you're doing your thing.
What's Instagram again? It's what now?
Life's a Gamble _101.
Bet. I'm gonna follow you right now.
Trust me.
You need to be my guest every Friday on the betting show, man.
That'd be a
Listen,
good idea.
phone me and hit me up, man. We can work something. We can work a ticket together, man.
For sure, man. Let me get to some other callers. New money, man. Friday, man. Contact me. We going to Smart Money.
Shout out New Money and Smart Money.
Smart Money, you working? Going once. Twice. All right. Gado, talk to me. Another worker? All right. Brandon. Okay, Smart Money, talk to me.
Yo.
What up?
What's good, man? What's good?
Chilling.
What else, Smart Money? I mean, shit, New Money.
Nah, this Smart Money.
This is smart money, man. Don't get us confused, man.
Totally different accents.
So should Bud Crawford drop his WBO title?
Should Bud Crawford drop his WBO title? Yeah, he should. That's a good idea, man. That put a light bulb to my head.
How so? Why? What light bulb? What idea came up?
Like the idea that he can get #1 ranking in WBC and #1 ranking in IBF and just forced to fight. And then we get the fights we want and see where everyone's at. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And who should he fight next since he's gonna drop the WBO title?
Who should he fight next? Hopefully
whoever he got to fight to get ranked, Mike. That shit.
Hopefully a Sean Porter. If he's smart, he should call out Keith Thurman and get an easy fight. Because Keith Thurman's not the same as what he used to be. Sean Porter's a hard fight. Sean Porter can beat anybody on any day. I wouldn't really want to take that risk.
Yo, Mike, I just had another brainstorm, man. You telling me that Mauricio won't pick up the phone and Bob can't say, yo, I don't like what's happening to Crawford. We're going to drop the WBO, put us in an eliminator. He ain't even got to get a #1. This dude is Terence Crawford. Put us in an eliminator. We already had your WBC at 140. We got a relationship. Like I'm telling you, man. Now, I know it's not the most traditional plan, but like I said, it's going to be titled Smoke 'em Out. Smoke 'em out. What you think Al going to do? Make him drop the belt and give up the power? You on mute.
I don't think Al will make him drop the belt, but I do think like if it goes to purse bid, it's hopefully they can work out a deal before he goes to a purse bid, because I don't know if either one gonna let the fighter come over to another network. You know what I'm saying?
Even better, a bidding war is only good for both fighters.
True,
it's a bidding war. It's a bidding war, though. Everything about it, Mike, everything about this move will build the fight to the magnitude of a super fight. The story is this champion that feels he's better than the other champions goes on the hunt for them, vacates his title, lobbies to the sanctioning body for a fucking eliminator shot. Bro, beautiful. It's a dream, but it's beautiful. CYP.
Yo, listen. You said the question is, should he drop the WBO? I say no. What they need to do is franchise his fucking ass. Franchise him, and then go ahead and drop that belt. That way people still have a respect for Crawford. Because in all honesty, man, on this show, the respect level is already, I ain't gonna say it's high, but it ain't the highest. He dropped that belt. No, I'm not feeling how this show gonna pump him out as a better dude than what he is without the damn belt. I say no. Because end of the day, only on this show do we give him disrespect. Outside in the real world, only person they talking about is Errol Spence when it comes to challenging him. He don't have to beat those other dudes for the outside world to get his respect. He just got to do that for us. And I don't want to include me in the us because I don't think Danny or Sean, stop calling him Shane, that's disrespectful. I don't think any of them dudes beat the man. I don't think so. So I don't need to see him do that. I need to see him fight Earl, or y'all just go ahead and say, you know what, put Keith up in there when he get healthy. Something, But them other two, fuck no. Go to WBC so I could be in there with them instead of being in WBO where I'm the king on my own side. Dude has done enough, in my opinion, eye test and at 140 and whooping horn ass to say, you know what? If y'all want it, come get me and my belt. See, he keeps the belt so he can always say, come get my belt. Without the belt, he loses the fact to say, come get my belt. Then them dudes could duck him even harder. I'm not saying they ducking him. I'm saying it looked like they ducking him, right? It looked like they don't want to fight Bud. And if I was Danny, I would not want that third loss to a third welterweight in the division on my fucking resume. I wouldn't want it. That's why he turned down that money.
But that's why we trying to say if we all on the same page today. They ducking him, so that's why go get them. There's no other way. As a champion, the only other way to go get them, Mike, is to send quote unquote the bag, right? But if you in the sanctioning body, that dude gotta fight you, or he gotta give up his position to fight Earl. Or, like I said, Bob lobbies for a eliminator shot. Now, damn, there was something CYP said.
Yeah, in my heart of hearts, I'm with CYP. You know what I'm saying? Like he has the belt, and I think that's enough for these guys to like want to fight him. But I'm getting to a point like we see like that's not happening, CYP, and I want to see the best fight the best. You know what I'm saying? No matter what division, no matter how big a fan of him I am, I still want to see Jamal Charlo and Chris Eubank Jr. No matter if Chris Eubank lose or win, I want to see that fight. And just like Terence Crawford, I want to see him against a Danny and a Sean Porter. But these guys are not trying to, I guess, I ain't going to say Sean Porter. These guys are not trying to get in the ring with him. So he has to, in my opinion, do something that either send the bag over and make a offer that you cannot refuse, or man, like I don't want to see you drop your belt. So maybe petition the WBC, like, can I keep my belt but still fight a eliminator for something else or something like that? Like it got to be something out there where we can work something out to get these big fights at 147. Just
so he said franchise and respect. I mean, that was crazy. We want another franchise title. I'll just leave that there and let that sink in. Second, he said, everywhere else but on this show. That's a cute narrative, but total fucking lie. I guess Stephen A. Smith is on this show. And Max on Boxing with Max Kellerman is also on this show. And all the fucking narrative spinning and deflecting that ESPN do is on this show. Cute narrative. No one else thinks anything but you guys. Get the hell out of here, bro. The world is asking these questions. And that's why we're trying to give him a plan. The world is asking these questions. It's not just TBV and the callers of TBV. Stephen A. Smith said it to his face. Stephen A. Smith said it to Max Kellerman's face. We got to see you in with those guys. And this is why, because look, you got in there with Kavalauskas. We thought it was going to be no different than what we thought Earl was going to do to Mikey or Earl was going to do to Sean. And we had to see that fight. Mexicans had to see Mikey not be able to do it, to stop believing. And we had to see Earl go through Sean. And he didn't. It was tighter. And now we are skeptical. So it's like, yo, these fights have to happen, bro. Like that whole thing that, oh, they don't got to fight him because the only guy you got to fight is Earl. What the hell? You crazy as hell. More than ever, I want to see fucking Danny. More than ever, I want to see Sean. More than ever, I want a healthy Keith Thurman. More than ever, bro. If I could have a wish, it would be Keith to be 100 because his power and his IQ is crazy. That's my fight. That's always been my welterweight. Okay, maybe, he shouldn't have went into that Pacquiao fight with the injury. Maybe he could get it back in the future. But that's still my welterweight. Rock in San Fran, talk to me.
Hey, what's happening, fellas?
What up, champ?
Ain't shit, top of the morning. Hey, think we got to stop it with the trying to baby Bud, man. I think he kind of. My man said something earlier about like he kind of like protected himself by staying where he decided to stay. So I mean, it's kind of one of those things, right? It's like the writing was on the wall from Jump Street, and he chose to act like he couldn't see it. So what we gonna do? Sit here and wave a flag for him when he didn't wave a flag for himself?
And that's my thing, man. The people that just started watching boxing try to act like he didn't know. Like, Bud was a sparring partner for Terence, for Tim Bradley for years. For years. So, yeah, Tim Bradley gave him the stories like, yo, Bob is going to take care of you. Of course. He made him feel safe. But he also seen Tim Bradley's career. He ain't never get the big fights. Pacquiao was the biggest bone Bob was able to give him. And, you know, that was a big bone. Crawford would have loved that bone, but
and look at that though. Hey, on some real shit though, Ness. Hey, on some real shit, Ness. Look at even what you said earlier about how many times Pacquiao fought these dudes 2 times.
Bruh, listen, he had 10 fights with 3 dudes, bro. 10 fights with 3 dudes.
Marquez, right?
And it was all in house. And these guys are blaming PBC. They don't fucking understand history. It's like they don't read.
Like Bob has ever been fair, right? What the fuck? Like, think Bob fair that all of a sudden, right? We're going to feel bad for Bob. Like, no, they won't play with Bob and Bud. Oh, no, it's not fair. Like, get the fuck out of here. That's my call, though. TBV for life, man. I love y'all niggas, man. Be safe.
Rock, man. Thank you, brother. Enjoy the rest of your day, man. We're going out to Sir Douglas. Talk to us.
What up, Sir Douglas? Can't be cool with it, though, Rock.
Listen, man. What's up, Mike? Hey, I'm from Indiana as well, Mike, man. Are you in Naptown or Arbor, Fort Wayne, Evansville, Kokomo?
I'm in Nap.
Hey, hopefully I can link up with you one day, bro. Real talk, man. I ain't no predator, but let me give my call off.
WBO. Hey, what about you?
What'd you say, Phil?
I ain't worried about you being a predator, my nigga. It's all good.
It's all boxing, man. But listen, the WBO
bro, that came out of
east of the sanctioning bodies, man. Right? And Bud is the Patriots, man. He's fighting the Dolphins, the Bills, the Jets, and he's not getting any younger. Now, let's throw this carrot out there. Bob's not going to let Bud drop the belt. Isn't there a report out that Chris Mendendorf, old promoter, gets 8% of Bud's purse every time he defends that title? And looking at the WBO sanctioning bodies, the next 10 fights is a guarantee held on to that belt. And, you know, also, there shouldn't be any excuses why these fights aren't happening. Bud said last week in an interview with Ward, Bob works for me. Now, knowing Bob's history, Bud will continue to eat veggie diet. So, to me, it's up to the platforms like this one and everyone else to boycott these networks. Don't buy pay-per-views. Don't watch until they give us what we want. You know, the boxers got to go back to earning their money. You know, and right now they're literally putting the cart before the horse. There's no return on investment with these guys, man.
Sir Douglas, man, great call. Great call. You know, I forgot about Bob. Bud's other promoter, because that was left field for me. That reminds me of like Gamboa and Guillermo Rigondeaux. These dudes had like 3 fucking promoters plus Bob.
I read that story too, though. You know what I'm saying? Nigga to this day still getting like 8%. You know what I'm saying? Like he's always, like you always say, you can leave a manager,
can't leave a promoter.
You can't leave a promoter.
That's why I told you, man. That's that free advice I be giving niggas. They clown me here, but I give you free good advice, man. I'm learning from the greats. My interviews and my conversations off camera, it's like, whoa. I'm telling you, one day we all gonna be great together. We gonna have a bunch of TBV listening investors, and we gonna get us a fighter, man, because we all know talent. We all can see the talent, and it's just a matter of getting that dude to the right place. Like, again, look at Virgil Ortiz's resume. Go look at the first 5, 6, 7 dudes. Them dudes is like 0-1. You know what I'm saying? They let him develop. They let him come into his zone, and they picking the right fights. Dudes coming off a 14-month layoff, 6-month layoffs, 40 years old, 30-something years old. Like, the shit CYP calls in about, yeah, he clowning, but it's also a blueprint that you could use. Find them motherfuckers at the right time, you know what I'm saying? And build the name. I'm telling you, man. One day, speak it, believe it, receive it.
J Mac 504 says, "Big ups to Jordan, and here's $2 for Ness $2 ass." What's going on with this $2 ass shit?
Bro,
Ryan ASAP.
I can't even get a coffee with $2. You know, like a medium is like $2.25.
Especially like the spice latte from like the
I'm
Puffin.
talking about regular, light and sweet. Like, damn, nigga, I ain't even
Right.
worth a coffee.
Ryan A70 says, "Not ducking is business. If the tables were turned, would Bob send Terence Crawford to fight Errol Spence with Danny Garcia, Manny Pacquiao, Sean Porter, and keep Thurman in his stable?
No, he
All
won't.
money in, no money out for now."
He won't, and even if he did, and now he don't got them names, and he's still not just sending Crawford. You heard his energy. It's 50-50. We could do 45-45, 10% in the air. Bob ain't trying to give up Crawford. Like, that's not going to happen, man. We need to let that shit go. That's why we trying to come up with this plan, a new plan, something else, something different, because it ain't working. It ain't working. These next 2 years could be crazy for us with Bud's, possible opponents. We need to start campaigning now before we get too close to that. Boxing Agitator, talk to me.
Shout out to the chat.
Champ, get off that speakerphone or that Bluetooth with all that wind. Sound like you driving through Florida with the windows down. 702, what's that, Vegas?
Yeah, this Vegas. You gotta come back to me, boss.
All right.
I'm in the car. I'm driving with the Bluetooth.
Nah, just go ahead, man. Go ahead.
All right. Well, Ness, you brought up you brought up Bob Arum and what he did for Vasyl Lomachenko, and no reason he can't do that for Bud without dropping that belt.
Nah,
or
the difference
coming
there.
with something.
Remember, the difference
Okay,
there
shoot.
was the vacant WBC, so it ain't really had no claim to it except for the mandatories or the number one contenders. So they lobbied like, yo, look at all that Vasyl has done. He's worthy of that vacant title shot. So there's no vacant there. Now, if the belt goes up, if Spence, shit hits the fan and Spence comes out and is like, yo, I ain't coming back this year, and the belt go up, boom, Bob could slide in, but that's a lot of wishing. We talking about living in reality,
Okay.
and reality is Earl's supposed to fight in June.
Okay, from my vision, this is what I see. From my point of view, I believe just like Bob works for Bud has to put pressure on Bob to make the fight. Bob's a lawyer. Bob been around this game longer than anybody. If Bob wanted the fight to happen, Bob would have made the fight happen. It's all on Bud putting the pressure on Bob. Like, I believe Bob can maneuver and make anything happen in boxing. He knows everybody. He can talk to everybody. If not, he'll sue your ass. And Bob know everybody. And if Bob wanted it to happen, it would be happening. That's my honest 100% belief in that situation. And Bud is complicit in everything from not putting the pressure on Bob. Bud is comfortable, and that's my opinion. Yes, sir. Thank you, Bud. Thank you, Ness. Thank you,
Boxing
Yeah, I think-
Agitator.
I
I
think
agree
Al
with
got
you.
something to say,
I
man.
agree with you 100%, but like slightly from a different standpoint. I agree that Bob doesn't want it. He gonna talk that shit just like he talked about Pacquiao. What y'all don't want to understand is those vulnerabilities that we speak of, they see it, man. Bruce Trampler and Bob have been doing this longer than you and I. They have, bro. They see it. And it ain't worth the risk right now to send Crawford to fight them dudes and get hit by real welterweights when he's looking vulnerable versus lesser men. Like, they still developing him. You can see with the fact that fucking Horn is the biggest dude he's ever fought in terms of like weight and muscle mass and height and reach. Like, bro, I mean, it's baffling to me that he hasn't fought a puncher yet. Like, insanely baffling. Like, who's the puncher on his resume? This was like when Gennady was coming up and I was begging for Gennady to fight a puncher. It took Curtis Stevens to hit Gennady with 2 left hooks and me see Gennady take them shits, and I was like, that's it. that dude got a chin, because at least I knew, even though Curtis wasn't elite, I knew he had that power. He could put you out with one left hook. You know what I'm saying? And Gennady took double of them shits. From then I stopped. I was like, no, Gennady got that chin. This dude's for real. But we ain't get to see that with this dude. Like, we seeing Cat Velasquez hurt him. We seeing Gamboa hurt him. We seeing Jose Benavidez. Like no, man. No. We need this dude in a fight. A real fight. For real.
Well, yeah, we try to send Danny a so-called puncher contract, but you know how that went out. You know what I'm saying? So I guess, you know what I'm saying?
Mike,
These
can
guys
you and
just gotta accept it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't look, bro. To say that we was hurt against Kavalauskas, you can say that, but I seen a guy who maybe got knocked down, got back up, got on the front foot, and pushed the action for the rest of the fight. Gamboa hurt him, caught him with a little stanky leg, but a round later, Gamboa got his ass finished. David Benavidez caught him with some shots, but when you are aggressive and you're offensive minded, you will get caught with shots and boxes, and it's as simple as that. And we all know, like, the fighting style that he fought against Kavalauskas Saturday night, it's not the same style he's going to be fighting against Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, or the top guys. There, he wanted to prove a point that night and wanted to make a statement on being on a big platform, like right after the Heisman. That's how you make casual fans motherfucking gravitate to you, getting those kind of knockouts and showing vulnerability in your fights.
Mike, since we said that today, like, we were just like living in reality, can you and I put to bed this Danny Garcia offer? Are you going on record today saying you thought that was a legitimate offer? And by legitimate, I just want you to have everything. I'm not cutting you off. I'm not trying to start a fight. I'm just saying, by legitimate, I mean an offer that you think was respectable. Not legitimate meaning was it real. Legitimate, like, for Danny, was that a offer that was worthy of him taking?
In my opinion, the offer was worthy of him negotiating. Start at $4 million. If you can start negotiating the offer. So I do think it was a decent enough offer to start a negotiation with. Yes, I do.
So you don't think it was what I said, which is a good enough offer for Danny? You're on mute.
It's good enough to start negotiation. If he felt like the $4 million wasn't good enough, then you can negotiate the offer.
Which sounds like it wasn't good enough, so ask for what you want. So can we just put to bed that the offer wasn't good enough?
I'm not saying that it wasn't good enough. No, I don't agree with that.
So you do think it was good enough?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's why we don't have the fight. Everyone else that's sane uses Amir Khan as the comparison. You know, Danny beat Amir Khan. Danny's a bigger U.S. star than Amir Khan. Danny's in a different position in his career than Amir Khan. And they offered Danny a flat fee non-pay-per-view. And Amir Khan $5 million pay-per-view. So
at the time, Danny was coming off a loss to Sean Porter. Don't forget that statement.
To a top 3 welterweight, something that Bud is still crossing his fingers and hoping he can get. And that is the debate, my friend. That is what we're talking about. You see, you can't in one sentence disrespect the same fighters that you want to have Bud fight. You have to prop Danny up. You can't call Danny worth only $4 million and, he was coming off a law. Not if you want him.
Eddie do it all the time.
Not if you want him, because guess what? Danny do got options, I see. I see him waiting for 2 title shots for Unified to claim to be the number 1 welterweight, because everyone thinks Earl is the number 1 welterweight. There's a debate for Crawford, but the people think Earl is number 1. He's got 2 belts. He's the only unified welterweight. Before him, it was only Thurman. Since Crawford likes to live in the world of accolades, that's what we're talking about, accolades. Earl has 2 belts. He's unified. Danny's within his right to wait that way, but all right, Brandon in Cincinnati.
What up, Mike? What up, Ness? How it sound? I'm at the gym.
Very echoey.
Don't sound good at all.
Okay, hold on real quick. Better now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's I find it very contradictory that you want Bud to drop his title, take a 30% mandatory position, but $4 million for Danny is too much, too little for him to go
Brandon,
over there and take a title shot.
Brand,
I find that very funny.
how do you find that funny when I also wanted the biggest name in boxing, arguably, especially when debating with my callers, in Deontay Wilder to do the same a year ago? It's on
And it was
record.
dumb.
It's on
It was
record.
dumb. It was dumb then too. It was dumb then too. It was
Hey,
dumb both ways.
I guess.
And
I
you keep
guess.
saying hold on, but let me make one more point before I go to the next point. You keep saying Amir Khan wasn't worth $5 million and Danny was worth more. Last fight Danny had, he made $1 million. After Amir Khan got his ass whooped, he went to Saudi Arabia, made $7 million. That's the difference between Khan and Danny.
All
Now
right,
I'm
brother.
safe,
And,
brother.
and you keep living in that delusion. You keep living in that delusion. And yesterday, or excuse me, Saturday, live on air, they destroyed Amir Khan as a Crawford opponent. Ward, the dude, what's the dude, Kriegel and Tim Bradley destroyed Amir Khan as a Crawford opponent and said Kavalaskis was way more durable. The Khan was just a fucking facade.
Okay, let me move on to my last point. Yeah, as far as what's next for Bud, I think two names come to mind. You got Sergey Lipinets. I think he has the balls across the street. And of course, Sean Porter, the PBC sacrificial lamb. He's the guy that's always going out on the limb and fighting the guys nobody wants to fight. Mikael Brook was considered the best welterweight. He fought him. Keith Thurman was considered the best welterweight. He fought him first.
Cal Brook
Errol
was his
Spence
mandatory, man. Get your shit straight.
Can I finish? Can I finish?
Not if you're
Keith
going
Thurman was
to
considered
spit non-facts.
Keith Thurman was considered the best at the time. Sean was the first to fight him. Errol Spence was considered the best at the time. Sean Porter was the first to fight him. So now you got to go over and fight the guy that's considered the best welterweight again, while Danny Garcia, pussy ass, get to fight a guy that lost to Tevin Former and was knocked out by John Molino while he waits on the fucking shot like a pussy when he's got all those other welterweights he could tune up with. And Keith Thurman's going to keep...
That's the problem with Crawford fans, man. They so mad at the direction that Crawford's career is going in, they disrespect other fighters that have accomplished more than they could have wished to accomplish. You know what I'm saying? Gado, talk to me.
Gado, what up, baby?
Yo, y'all can hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Let me say this. I don't think that he should vacate the belt. I feel like realistically he a champion, man. That should be enough for these dudes to get it done. And I understand that it's not, but I don't know. I just don't feel like he should have to vacate his belt to make them fights. Because I feel like, personally as an Earl fan, Terence Crawford fans put a lot of onus on Earl to make that fight. And I don't like when they put all the pressure on Earl to make that fight. So it would be contradictory of me to be like, okay, Terence Crawford, all the pressure on you, make this fight. And I don't feel comfortable with that. But if he did do that, that'd be some gangsta ass shit. And if he did do that shit, you couldn't do nothing but respect it. So if he do that though, I just see, I don't know, man, pure desperation and like in a good way. So if he was to do something like that, he'd be undeniable. But I don't know if he wanted that bad when he making $3 million a fight, you know what I'm saying? Bob, give me this and that. He good, you know what I'm saying? Why put yourself through all that? You got your fans saying that they don't want to fight you. It's okay. He got everything made for him. So for him to, I don't know. I just think that's very unrealistic for him to do that.
It's definitely non-traditional, but I mean, we seen the trajectory of his career. We see who the guys he's fighting. I mean, if we're cool with that, all right. We showed you the top 15, you know. If we're cool with it, then we're cool with it. That's totally up to y'all. I'm just presenting the information. Anthony and Charlotte. Anthony, you definitely got something going on with your phone there. We're going to Jesus and Cali.
Hey, man. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, can you hear me? Hey, yo, I agree with everything you've been saying the whole morning about Crawford, man. I can't believe he signed with Top Rank again, man. He fucked up, man. I don't know why he did that shit for. But, I mean, I don't even have to explain what he has to do. You already explained it. He needs to be on section and body and other, and do other section and bodies. Yeah, man, I can't believe he's playing with Top Rank, man. He should have gone to Al Heyman, Dazn. You know, he has nobody else to blame but himself. I don't blame Tom Rank. I don't blame Bob Arum. I blame himself. And, man, these Crawford fans, man, he's just a pound for pound at 140. He's not the pound for pound in boxing, period. Like, you know what I mean? I feel the same way about Loma. I feel he's pound for pound in his division, but not in boxing. I feel the only one that's pound for pound is Canelo. So, yeah, man, that's my call. Like, he fucked up. He should have signed without him or the zone. That's where it's at. That's my call.
You're not a real boxing fan at all. For you to say that he should sign with the zone tells me your level of expertise on the boxing side of things. So thank you for your call, though.
Noah Cali.
What up, nigga? Where you been hiding at?
Spotify TV. Man, first and foremost, I just want to know, like, how can ESPN just take away Lomachenko's loss? I was just tripping off that. I mean, I know that's neither here nor there, but that's crazy, Mike. And you wasn't really on until later, so I had to get off yesterday. So, who do you think would be a good opponent besides not a PBC cat? Any cat that's not PBC for Crawford, since he's having trouble with those fights. And if he can't get that opponent, or if that opponent ain't worth whatever it is that Danny Garcia, then they got to pay him whatever the fuck Danny's worth, bro. That's what it is. This is leverage in business. It don't matter if that's what I'm worth. If that's what I can leverage it for, then that's it. So, in saying that, if you can come up with another opponent to not pay Danny, you know what I mean? Then go for it. But if not, then you just got to pay Danny whatever he asks for. Any one of them dudes. If you want to do business. You signed over there. That's what it is. TBV, I'm out.
So, you going to answer him?
What's that?
Because I was interested to know, what fight non-PBC would you want?
I mean, looking at the landscape, non-PBC, like that, they got all the fucking inventory over there on the welterweight side. So that's why I don't get why it's so hard to make. But Kell Brook, you know, I guess he's a coming opponent with Errol Spence. You can fight Kell Brook at 154. Fuck it, let's go.
Oh, I like that you said 154 because I was about to be like, what, Mike? No. Nah, but 154, okay. I can see that. That's a good way. That's like who was it? Who was it that had a fight and they was like, oh, I'm gonna fight him at his real weight. I ain't gonna bring him down like they brought him down.
Conor McGregor. He fought Nate Diaz.
Nah, man, what the fuck, bro? You know my metaphor is only boxing, okay? I'm pretty sure that was probably Mayweather talking about Cotto because Pacquiao shrunk him down or some shit. You wildin', trying to cross. He said UFC. Mike, you funny.
Man, I was trying to make a good point right quick. But yeah, Conor fought Nate Diaz and at 170 lost and refused to take the rematch at 155. So he fought him again at 170 and beat him.
We got Josh in North Carolina.
What up, man? What up, Mike? What the fuck y'all up to?
Oh man, another day, another podcast.
Word up, good podcast. Hey, I just want to let y'all know. Yeah, I think Bud should drop that. Drop out the WBO, drop the belt. But I don't think he would because he just his pride and shit like that. So I don't see him doing that, and I don't think Bob would let him either, in my opinion. But I think, like I said, I love to see him and Porter fight. But like I said last night, I think Porter knocked that nigga out in the 9th round. Cold sleep. If he fight that style that he was fighting goddamn Saturday night, he gonna get knocked the fuck out. Hey, but I want to ask y'all a question though, on another subject. Hey, do y'all think Wilder should go over there to London and fight goddamn Dillian White?
Man, I would love it. I love
Yeah, that's what
it.
I'm saying. Like, do you think like I know he probably couldn't do no Anthony Joshua numbers in Wembley Stadium, but do you think he could put like at least 60,000-70,000 people in that fight if he fighting Dillian White?
Man, I wouldn't even know, but I would love that fight, man. I would love that fight.
Okay. Hey, and one more thing, man. I think Fury. The reason why I don't think they did that announce the fight yet because I think they're waiting on what AJ gonna do with that. I think it's a WBO title. Because Fury's second in the rankings, and I think
Yeah.
that'll make the fight bigger with him and Wilder.
I said
Huh?
that too. They trying to wait to see if he gonna get that WBO shot. That is your minute 30 though. But yeah, I said that, man. I'm with you on that, man. They ain't announcing that fight because if they could get Fury in a vacant title shot with Usyk for the WBO, they going for that shit ASAP. Yo, white boy in Texas, man, my bad. I'm gonna get used to this starting right now. You know what I mean? It has to like click in the head that you a fucking ring. Apologies.
Yo, go ahead and play that intro.
Oh shit! You know what? I gotta come back to you then. I do have it. Actually, no, I have it. I already sent it last night. My bad, champ. My bad. See, all that has to click. This is all new. White boy got him an intro from our good friend.
What it do, TBB family? This your boy Dollar. If you want a beat like you heard on the show, hit me up on Instagram at DollarDibiase. That's DOLLA_DIBIASE. Let's get it.
BoxingVoice.com. When I was locked up in county jail, I taught the Southsiders how to fight. I knocked out Southside. Teardrop. BoxingVoice.com.
What you got to say about that, Deontay? What you got to say about that, man?
Hold on a second.
Hold on. Let me play that again. I heard something about Southside.
BoxingVoice.com. When I was locked up in county jail, I taught the Southsiders how to fight. I knocked out Southside. Teardrop. BoxingVoice.com.
What you got to say about that, Deontay? What you got to say about that, man?
Hold on a second.
Yeah. Did he say when I was locked up in county jail, I knocked out Southside? Yo, you know that one white boy fighting Southside.
He taught the Southsiders how to fight. He knocked out a dude with teardrop. That's just too funny. Anyways, yeah, shout out to Dollar Tobias for that. I asked him for it, and within 24 hours, I mean, he was ready for it, or he had it already. So shout out to him with the fire intro. I feel like those who had intros make the show unique, so I had to grab one. Early Christmas present to myself. Merry Christmas. He got 3 different packages. Hit the man up, he'll hook you up. I mean, I've been listening to a little bit here. I think Bud should drop the belts. It would shake up the whole boxing world, man. He'd be the talk of the whole boxing world for a while, and maybe doing that gets the fights he's been wanting, But everybody just showed up here at work. So shout out to everybody rocking with TBV. Stay safe and enjoy the rest of y'all's day. White boys out.
Steve Ringer, talk to us.
Yeah, hey, good morning. Yeah, I missed a little bit of the beginning, but we're talking about Crawford. I do not think he should drop the belt, and I'll tell you why. Now, he's claimed he's hyped up to be this #1 pound-per-pound fighter, right? So how is that going to look if he's got to drop his belt and chase these other guys? But I'm going to tell you what's really going on. So let's cut the bullshit and get right to the thick of things. He is not respected as an elite fighter. It has nothing to do with promotions. He doesn't have to go to here. Look at how many fights we see made between cross promotions. This has to do with he is not respected as an elite fighter. They do not want to waste their time fighting him. They do not respect him.
Who is they?
The they is the Spences, the Porters.
Nah, you think they don't? Nah, I don't think they don't respect
Don't
him.
want to fight him. They don't want to fight him. He is not respected. They do not see him as an elite fighter. Pacquiao don't want to fight. Look at how many guys don't want to fight. If you are truly #1, wouldn't you think they would want to fight him so they could claim being #1? They beat #1. Look at how many guys chase Canelo. Why ain't they chasing Bud? Because Bud ain't shit. I'm
The
just telling
bag
you that
different. The
you
bag
cannot
different, man. Come on, man. You smarter than
you
that, man.
can
The bag is different.
you
With
you
Canelo.
you rank your boxers by your eyes. They look how many people chase number one fighters. Look how many people chasing Joshua. Look at how many people chasing Canelo. Bud is not respected within the boxers, within the fighters. He is just hyped by the media because he has that media engine behind him.
Hey,
He's
Steve,
not.
are you a fan of Deontay Wilder?
Yes.
Did you not hear Deontay Wilder on this show tell how much he respected and admired Terence Crawford and what he did in the ring?
Yes, I did.
All right, so for you to say fighters don't respect him, it's kind of like just like bullshit, honestly.
Well, in his weight class, that Wilder fights heavyweight. He could say what he wants about other fighters. The heavyweights are a class on their own. But the fighters within his class, they don't respect. That's how I'm seeing this. That's my opinion, Mike. They don't respect that guy. If he was truly number one in their eyes, they would want to knock him off. They don't view him as number one. Not even close. I'm just telling it like it is. If he was number one and they could beat him, why wouldn't they want to fight him? They ain't afraid of him. They just don't see any.
Mike, I'm not saying he has a point, but why is it different? Why? Well, I guess it just changed for Earl, right? It just changed.
Money different, bro. And all those guys on PBC
But
side.
how is it the money? Crawford just made $4
He didn't
million.
bring up Earl. He brought up Joshua and he brought up Canelo, two of the biggest money guys in the fucking division. That's why guys are calling those guys out and want to fight those guys. That's why Jamal Charlo, Demetrius Andre, Triple fucking G is still waiting to this day for a third fight because the money big. With Earl just started, you know what I'm saying? He's a pay-per-view star, and he has all the belts on the PBC side. So, of course, all the welterweights that are under the same umbrella as him are going to want to fight him more than Terence Crawford because they under the same umbrella, and they realize it's an easier fight to make because Bob Arum and Al Heyman historically have not done good business except for one big, massive fight with Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather.
I mean, I think it was Anthony maybe that said it, man. No, it was Noah, man. It was Noah. If you can't think of a substitute level Danny Garcia fight outside of PBC, you have to pay for the fight. Like, we're going through all options here, and none make sense to the Crawford fans. And some, they just aren't realistic. Even the ones I'm coming up with, they just gonna have to pay. You're on the outside because, like, the way that it works, if we use his analogy with the AJs and the Canelos, they pick you. And when you're not them, what do you do? And most of the guys sit around and waiting, like you said, Gennady, Andre, Charlo, they just waiting to be picked. So you telling me we gonna accept Crawford to just wait and be picked?
Yeah, Joseph said let Brandon get his boomerang.
Brandon is not there, and we have a bunch of other callers before we could double back. We went to Brandon once though today, right? So we'll be sure to give him a second. CK in Cincy. Damn, CK, where you go?
CK.
He dropped off. All right. Marcus in Ohio.
What's good, guys?
What up?
What up, Marcus?
Yeah. What up? Man, the caller before talking about the welterweights don't respect him. I think that's BS. They all respect each other. I think it's going to be eventually Bob is going to have to force his Crawford on the other side. I hate to say that, but I'm not even too mad with Crawford in the position that he's in right now because the PBC is what they say they are, where they can cross the street and they can do it anytime they want, then some of them fighters are going to do it. And I think it's going to probably be Porter going to be the first one, which he always do. But, yeah, as far as I'm talking about not respecting Crawford, come on, bro. It's like, stop it. Crawford, they looking for vulnerability. If they see flaws in probably this fight might help that. They see vulnerability, they'll do it. Sugar Ray Leonard got praised for fighting, the welterweight era with the Durant. But let's not forget, he only took the Marvin Hagler fight when he seen vulnerability. He came out of retirement. Marvin was chasing him. These fighters do that. They know he's the real deal. So cut the bullshit with this. They don't respect him. They wait for vulnerabilities. And you was talking about it, Ness. Fighters look at that. They see, if they see something they can win, if they got an advantage, they're going to take it.
Just like Danny Garcia seen all he needed to see in the Earl and Sean Porter fight, and then you see his whole tune change. You know what I mean? Sometimes it take a little bit of TV courage. You see the fighter, but Crawford looking vulnerable ain't enough because of the whole. You losing the percentage, man. It's just the bottom line. You got to split the proceeds with Bob and Top Rank, man. Mastermind, NO and the NL.
Whoa. What's good, bruh? See, man, I've been in the chats, bruh. You heard me? On the Skype chats and everything, dog, trying to let everybody know what's happening, bruh. Bob never had to pay that fucking money, man. They gonna have to, like, you dig? And I'm just telling you what's really going on right now. Dog, you giving fighters like Amir Khan extra bread. However he did, whatever he did on the back end, whatever, it still wind up being more money than you offered on the other side, dog. And they doing this shit for Tyson Fury and other fighters, dog. Why they not doing it for Bud? You got to take a gamble like the Pacquiao fight. I felt like Bob and Top Rank should have took a loss to make sure that Crawford got that fight with Pacquiao. And they should have took an L for the future. You know you got one of the top fighters in the game. Why not make sure he get a fight with a legend that's on his way out so he can pass the torch? If Pacquiao want $25 million, let him have it. But at the end of the day, if you believe in your fighter and he's supposed to be the best.
But that's the
you
question,
make that happen.
bro.
That's right or wrong.
But that's the question. Do they really believe or do they not have the best matchmakers in boxing? If Pacquiao at 40 dropped Thurman, what the fuck? Come on.
I mean, it wasn't no guarantee win. You ain't never heard me say that, and I ain't say it, but you got to give him the opportunity.
But that's why they wasn't going to gamble $25 million. But that's why they wasn't going to gamble $25 million on Crawford.
But don't you see Al Hammond doing that? Then you see Al Hammond gambling all the time,
bruh. And that's the argument. That's the argument. But that's the argument that we've been saying for years. Go to PBC. They taking care of you.
Man, they don't want to hit it on the other side. That's all I'm trying to put out there,
we can't do much.
Top Rank don't gamble. That's my.
We can't do much, man. We can only lead them horses to water, man. They don't want to drink. They don't want to drink. Keem in Florida, talk to me.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
What up, King?
What up, Mike? Let me ask you a question, Mike. If Bud drops the WBO, does that change how you rank him at all as a fighter?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of fighters dropping belts. You know what I'm saying? I'm not.
But I mean, like skill wise, obviously, you're not going to change your ranking on him, right? You probably look at him differently.
Not skill wise, but I would have to look at him kind of sideways. You know what I'm saying? If he's dropping.
Okay. Now, Ness, if Crawford drops his WBO. And he fights Danny Porter and Thurman back to back in 2020. None of those guys got belts, so he don't win no belt. Does he earn more respect in your eyes now?
Absolutely. That's what we want. We don't need a belt. We don't need a belt. That's these weird Crawford fans. These weird Crawford fans want a belt.
And like I said before, I listened to the Chris Mannix podcast. Bud was on there, and Chris Mannix asked him that. Would you be willing? Because Bud said 2020, I'm coming for everybody. I'm going to make y'all fight me or drop your belt. Chris said, you cannot be ranked if you have a title. And Bud laughed a little bit, and he said, so are you willing to drop your belt? And Bud said, everything's on the table 2020. He's willing to do anything. I love to hear that type of shit. Whether he's going to do it or not, I like that, bro. I like the hunger. I want to see these fights, and I think he wants these fights. And I truly believe that he makes the belt. The belt don't make him. You know, Wilder's fighting Fury not for no fucking belts. He just beat Luis Ortiz for no belts. It's for legacy. It means more than that. You know,
Exactly.
I understand belts or negotiation and more money. I get all that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want Bud to be, you know, taking super less money or anything like that. But I just don't think that the belts, to me, belts don't mean shit. If you fight the best fighter in the world and beat his ass.
Bruh, I hated to cut you, man. That was an amazing fucking call, bruh. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about. It don't matter about them belts, man. It don't matter.
He said Wilder didn't fight, but Wilder didn't drop his belt though. He fought Ortiz. He fighting Fury for no belts, but he didn't drop his belt. Simple as that. Like, great call, but Wilder still has his belt.
You want to know what Wilder did though, Mike?
What's up?
He blessed Luis Ortiz. You think blessing Luis Ortiz was a $4 million flat fee? He blessed. Let me finish. He blessed him the first time, and then he blessed him with a pay-per-view the second time. That's what we talking about, man. You can make the fight happen. Wilder did that. He chose the difficult fighter in Luis Ortiz, and in this thing, Crawford is the difficult fighter. So he got to play that Wilder route and send that nice offer. Make them dudes say yes. Simple.
Who is Wilder and Ortiz advised by?
Al Heyman.
All right.
What's your point?
No point needed.
Okay. We got T Plums. I just see Crawford fans want to be bitter, man. They don't want to give solutions.
Hello. Y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, just quick question. How many top welterweights was on Top Rank when Crawford signed over? When he re-signed, actually.
And there never was welterweights over there, man.
Thank you. So the point is, everybody
Manny
wants.
Pacquiao and Jeff Horn when he re-signed his deal.
He wasn't a welterweight when Manny Pacquiao was over there.
But he asked what weights were on Top Rank when Crawford re-signed. He didn't ask what weight division Crawford was in.
All right, you're right, Mike, and that's you right too. But still, the point is, dang, y'all made me miss my point when y'all start talking. God damn, forget it, bro. I just forgot everything I was gonna say.
I'll come back to you, bro. Don't worry about it. Start the Don. Going once. Twice.
Yo. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yo. Listen. I big up Boxing Verse and Ness and Mike and all the you, man, still. I just don't personally think it's the right move for Terence to give up his belt. It makes no sense. Like, watch this year, and I'll give you a quick analogy. If Anthony Joshua gave up all of his belts and wasn't a money man like he is, like people didn't see him as the big payday, yeah, and he gave up all his belts, yeah, he would struggle to get fights. Terence Crawford already struggling.
Listen. You can't strip Joshua of his popularity. I was already on record after the Andy Ruiz loss saying he didn't need to go straight into it because he can rebuild. He's big enough to do it without the belts. And again, and Crawford has Top Rank, man.
The thing is, yeah, what are you going to do? Pay to be in the sanctioning bodies. They're going to give you a rank.
Yes.
And do you know what, yeah? Nobody's going to want to fight him, bro, because they already know that he's that guy.
And then what happens? Then what happens?
I don't know. How does he move up the ranks to get into a mandatory position if no one chooses to fight him?
That's exactly how. And first of all, his promoter's big enough, powerful enough to lobby for an eliminator because he did it for Vasil. Or you forgot?
Yeah, but I don't know if they're gonna get that
Oh,
for
you don't
Crawford.
know what? You don't know what? You don't know what? Did the rules change for fucking Crawford? If he could do it for Vasil, why can't he do it for fucking Crawford? He did it for Vasil. Pay for Crawford. You paid for Vasil. You went to Mexico. You made him a franchise champ. You are doing that. Do it for Crawford. Do it for Crawford. Simple. Like, everybody's mad at PBC like Crawford doesn't have one of the best promoters in the fucking game. How is it that you guys are telling me he can't get these fights? Having Bob Arum. Bob Arum has brought boxing to fucking China. He about to go, where they going now? The new Hawaii. Bruh, chill, man. They got the right guy, man. If they want to fight, they could get that shit done. They got Bob. Bob has been doing this long enough. Long enough, man. Y'all got to stop making excuses. Jonathan Sims, talk to me. Jonathan on Skype, you got to unmute. All right, we're going to Michael in the UK.
Hey people. Yeah, like, look, I mean, Crawford, like, number one, like, losing the belt as not, I think he should keep the belt and carry on doing what he's doing. Losing the belt and going through the rankings is no guarantee that he's going to get that fight. As you're well aware, there's other fighters who are going up to different organizational bodies and not getting the fights they want, making people franchise champion, doing whatever they want to try to stop fighters from getting the fights they want. So it doesn't make sense him going up, paying sanctioning fees, going up the rankings just to not get the fight. Plus, they can always vacate.
Michael, you've been watching boxing long enough to know that Crawford ain't gonna go up the ranks. Crawford is skilled enough, accomplished enough that he can lobby for the same thing Vasil did with less fights and less accomplishments. Vasil's never been undisputed.
You can lobby, but then lobbying and getting the results that you want is the two different things. Do you know what I mean? Lomachenko had the belts when he was lobbying. If you vacate your belt and then lobby is a completely different thing. Do you know what I mean? So
I told him make the call. I said that on the show. I said he got Bob. All he got to do is make the call to Suleiman. That's it.
Yeah.
You don't need all these other sanctioning fees. You just need WBC.
Solomon's got a better relationship with PBC right now than with Top Rank. So
brother, he just did it for Bob. What are you talking about? He just did it for Bob.
Because Lomachenko's got the belts. Look, I just don't think that Crawford, that's the right route for him to go down. Because even if he does all that lobbying and all that, they can just say, make him a franchise champion. And Al Heyman would just convince Spence.
And then the writing would be on the wall. The writing would be on the wall.
90 seconds.
Listen, you guys are acting like Crawford's going to vacate his belt and no one's going to know the plan. No one's going to see the obvious. No one's going to see that, like, he's doing this because they're ducking him. It's just going to be this silent, thing that's done discreetly. He's going to eventually get a shot. It's going to go to purse bid. Like, what the fuck? You know what type of media thing this is going to be? Whatever, bro. Jonathan, talk to me.
60 seconds.
Good morning, fellas. That's my CYP week invitation. This kind of funny to me, man, because I swore I threw this idea out there a few times. And it was pow shot down like it was nothing. As recent as last night, I could have swore I said something about this. And now it's the show. That's kind of funny. But I'm all with you, Ness. Drop that WBO. Like I said last night, it's not holding him any value. His money is set because of his contract. So I think it only goes down if he loses, not because of the WBO belt. He could even get creative and move up to 154, fight for a regular, drop it, come back down, get ranked in the WBC.
10 seconds.
If they drop the WBC, if they get franchised, then the fans attack. But Bud sitting back with that WBO doesn't help. And even if he won the WBC or the IBF, he can unify with the WBO because Bob is in the WBO's pockets. Remember, I asked you that like 4 or 5 days ago. We all know Bob is in the WBO pockets. The brother can unify. So I'm with you. He should drop that WBO belt if he really want to make some moves. That's my call.
All right, man. We got man, I think this is, let me see. Well, we're gonna go to Boomerang, Seattle.
Yo, what's good? What's good? I got questions for Mike and Ness. First, Mike, I was hoping maybe we can make a bet. Maybe in this next 2 weeks or months, you can get Terence Crawford on the show, and really we can get the understanding of and then pick his brain on what's going on with him and what his plan is, what he's willing to do, and all that shit. Is that cool with you, Mike?
Your butt ain't coming on.
You already tried?
I've asked, and butt ain't coming on.
Who'd you ask?
Nigga, why are you worried about it? All right? I asked, gave you an answer. He ain't coming on.
Okay, so my question is, do you think Bud Crawford beats Sean Porter way better than Errol Spence did and Keith Thurman did?
Absolutely.
Do you think he'll get the knockout on what round?
No knockout.
So it's going to go full 12?
Absolutely.
Okay. Even though Sean Porter, throws a lot of punches, he's going to outdo his punch output?
You asked me the same question over and over. Absolutely.
Okay. So what about you, Ness? Do you think...
Cut it.
I don't know, bro. I need to see the fight, man. That's Mike's guy, so he's gonna ride with him. I'm on the opposite of that. I need to see the fight happen to see the skill on that level. I'm with Canelo, Show me your skill with someone equally as skilled as you so that we can see how good you are. Looks like we got Junior in Houston.
What's up? What up, Mike? What up, Ness?
What up?
Okay, first off, I want to say congratulations to Crawford, man. He put on a spectacular performance. Mean Machine never been knocked down in amateur or pro. Undefeated. I know he had the draw coming in, but he's undefeated. Crawford 4-0 at welterweight. Every fighter he beat at welterweight was undefeated. Amir Khan was undefeated at 147. He definitely don't need to drop his belt. He needs to keep his belt. And eventually they're gonna have to fight him. Porter is gonna fight him. He's fighting Porter or Spence in 2020, guaranteed. I guarantee it. And yeah, that's my call, man. Crawford #1 pound for pound.
Great call, Junior.
Yo, my man just said Amir Khan undefeated at Yo, I don't even think Amir Khan is ranked at welterweight. Oh shit, WBC got them. He's only ranked in the BC, bruh, at number 8. How in the world? They are terrible. For real, man. Boomerang NO.
Yo. Sitting there, dog. See, bro, get what Brandon Maurice said, one of them boys. Man, get one of the Crawford dudes my lad call, man. I'm about to finish the work around the house, you hear me?
For
Let
sure.
me hit them boys burn.
All right. Let me see. J-Mac ain't there or Brandon ain't there. Who else got that Crawford love? We'll give them time. Brandon or J-Mac, call in, man. Call in. We got Stainless on the Boomerang.
What up, Stainless? Mike fell asleep. You know what I'm saying? He got high.
We're gonna go to Robert Bomb Boxing on the Boomerang.
I'm looking, fellas.
All right. Jesse, talk to us.
Can you hear me, Ness?
Yes.
What's going on, Jesse?
What's up, Mike? What's up, Ness? I was gonna say, if he drops that belt, I think he should go into the WBC rankings because I'd imagine the IBF wouldn't allow it. What do you guys think?
I mean, he could go to any, but I would say the WBC is the one that he needs because he wants the Earl Spence fight. He isn't calling anyone else out. He wants Earl Spence. It would be a whole media thing. Like, this champion is seeking this guy out. So, you know.
Yeah, and I'd imagine WBC is the more like they're the ones that are the more, I guess you could say, lenient with those type of things, allowing people to jump the rankings that quick. Well, I was also gonna say, I was looking at the WBO rankings. Did you know freaking Virgil Ortiz is the 5th in it? The top.
Yeah.
Top. I was like, what the fuck? I did not know that.
Yeah, man.
Oh. Hey, and does the WBA gold, does that make him like a contender for Pacquiao's super, or no? That's just like no. Or is there any way he could become a contender for it, or that's just like stay away from our champion?
No, WBA doesn't have mandatories, brother. So
what the? Oh hell no! I think you should drop that belt then.
Unless they deem one worthy, like Povetkin and Joshua or Jacobs in Triple G.
Hell no! They're never gonna give my boy Virgil a chance. Then
they ain't gonna deem Pacquiao a mandatory. They never did for Mayweather, and I don't think they even did for Cotto, man. They made a special belt. I remember they made a white belt for Cotto and shit. It's crazy.
Made a white belt?
Yeah.
That's crazy. A white WBA belt. I bet that was a sight to see.
Sell, I think, in Milwaukee.
What up, fellas? What's good with y'all, man? Been a minute, been working this shit, couldn't get on like I need to. But yes, you have me.
You breaking up a little bit, Sal. A lot of bit. Unfortunate. Completely gone on us.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Then you sat up here and lied on air to my nigga Mike talking about I go for my fighters. Nigga, so Danny ain't your fucking fighter?
Yeah.
Okay, so when Mike asked you, motherfucker, who you got, Crawford or Danny, you said, Deontay my fighter. Keith my fighter. You didn't say Danny.
Because Danny
why?
not my fighter in the welterweight division. Everybody was clear on that.
Man, I ain't trying to hear that
Don't
shit.
hear it then. Don't hear it then. Don't hear it then. That's on you.
You acting
That's
like
on you. Did I say Danny was what? Did I say Danny was the Floyd Mayweather? The next Floyd? Or did I say that about Keith?
I don't give a fuck what you said. Danny your fighter in the welterweight division, nigga. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
That's
he's my fighter. He's my fighter in your argument.
When it come to Crawford, nigga.
He's my fighter in your argument because you want to win a debate. So that's cool. Whatever makes you happy. I'm just here to make you happy.
Ness, you know I'm always here to check you, fam.
You ain't checking nothing.
You
ain't checking nothing. Your man ain't got no fights. He can't get no fights. That's just the bottom line.
Hold on.
You can deflect all you want. I ain't cutting you off. I ain't cutting you off.
Cut me off.
I ain't cutting you off.
He's hot.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Listen,
the one that's hot is you. You, the Crawford fan, upset at me. Get upset at your man. Get upset at his promoter. Get upset at his career. You mad at me. I ain't got nothing to do with Crawford career.
Yes. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Ha, are you okay? Look, even your boss knows something wrong with you. I want to make sure you're okay.
No.
Yeah, no, because you over there screaming like a madman for Crawford.
Listen.
You a Stan.
No. That's my sister. Now listen, chill out.
Even worse, she want to make sure you okay.
You trying to hide PBC fighters from Crawford.
Sure.
That's your problem.
Sure.
You trying to duck
Crawford
Daddy.
hiding
Talk
himself.
about no, Keith my guy.
Crawford hiding
You trying to duck?
himself.
No. Hey Ness, you still my guy, but you've been acting like a real pussy lately, dog, with this Crawford action.
Whatever.
I just had to call in, man. I ain't called in a minute.
Crawford
to
is
fuck with you,
Wilder,
but
brother. Crawford is Wilder in this situation. Every bit of energy I have for Wilder, I got for Crawford. This show is about Crawford dropping his belt like I asked Wilder to do. I'm trying to get him to fight.
listen,
I'm trying to get him to fight.
man.
You can't get
All
the
I'm saying
AJ
is
fight.
you
You
can't
got to
have it
do
both
something.
ways.
No,
You can't say
have
you
it
want
both
me to fight
ways.
somebody,
You can't
but
have
then
it
when
both
you trying
ways.
to
Look, I
fight
gave you
these
3 minutes. You can't have it both ways. Wilder couldn't get AJ. He made his own lane. Crawford need to make his own lane. I even suggested moving up to 54, beating up Patrick Teixeira. He already lost to Curtis Stevens. Make your own lane. Become a 4-time champ. Only you and Canelo or whatever the fuck, however they title in Canelo. There's plenty of other things to do other than sit around here and fight these no names. Straight up no names.
Phil, keep fighting the good fight, brother.
Joshua boomeranging.
Oh, Josh, back to back.
Yo, yeah, Ness, that was a great call. It always brings joy to my soul to hear somebody call you out on the shit you need to be called out. I don't know how much longer I'm being serviced, but Steve, that call was horrible. You showed your hand. I knew you were skeptical. I thought with age it came wisdom, but obviously that's not in your favor right there. Um, boycott Bud. I heard a caller say that earlier. That shit is crazy. If we're gonna allow the PBC fighters to go ahead and hold all the fights over there with no contractual obligations when they could come across the street because they're not contracted to fight over there, they can just negotiate and make the fight happen. Why should we push for AJ to unify with Deontay Wilder? It's the same thing that's going on in the sport. But no, I'm too much of a boxing fan. Deontay Wilder ain't got nothing to do with Bud. The situation, it just seemed very similar. But your energy for Bud is to point it at him and say what he's not doing. When you had Bob Ingram on your show saying he's trying to make the fights, but every time you interview somebody from PBC, they say, Bud, the WBO belt don't exist. They have no plans on fighting Crawford. It's unbalanced. And you call yourself a boxing fan, I don't see how you get behind it and support it. You're a narrative.
Joshua,
you
before you go,
can you tell me
who I've interviewed who said on this show that they don't believe in the WBO?
Tom, it was a black guy. Tom, it was it was a black guy. I don't remember his name. You
Tim
have
Smith.
an interview.
Tim Smith.
Have an interview with him, and he's Tom. Who? Mike?
Tim Smith.
Mike,
Tim Smith.
don't help him because that's wrong.
It's Tim
Listen to
Smith.
me.
Can I
Listen to me.
finish?
No, you
It's Tim-
can't. Listen to me. You said I interviewed someone on this show and they said they don't recognize the WBO. That's my question. Okay? That's my question. You just said that. Answer that.
Ness. Is this the voice of Ness or is the voice of the people? Which one, man?
Did you or did you not say I interviewed someone on this show and they said the WBO, they don't recognize it?
You interviewed Tim Smith in person.
Okay, fine.
And, he said
and did he
they have no
say,
plans on
did he
fighting
say,
Bob Crawford.
did he
Why do
say
you keep
that they don't
hiding it
recognize
like
the
they're
WBO?
saying that's not the case?
Did he
You
say
get
that?
on here and
Did he
push
say
your
that?
narrative every
Okay, he
show
didn't say that.
like you don't know
He didn't say that. Thank you. Come on, bro. You can't just lie. I get on here and interview people and they say they don't recognize the IBO. We've been asking that question and no one is yet to admit that lie. Damn, y'all thirsty. Same dudes over and over, thirsty. Nothing but lies. CYP, please close us out. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm gonna need that. I'm gonna need them 3 minutes, because I only talked once today. But so I found some shit. I heard you say that my man Crawford ain't fought no punches. Now, when I look at his punches, and y'all in the chat feel free to disagree, I look by knockout percentage. And if you want to go by who they knocked out, then Kell Brook ain't knocked out nobody of stature. Not Matthew Hatton, not Porter. He ain't knocked out nobody of stature. I looked at the percentages of all the dudes that my man Terence has fought and all the dudes my man Errol Spence has fought. Y'all do it yourself. Errol Spence ain't fought no punchers either. The biggest puncher he fought was Mikey Garcia at 75%, and we know he was at 140. Kell Brook is in the 60s. Everybody else, Sean Porter, 50%. Everybody else is down in the 30s. If you go over there and look at my man Crawford. Crawford fought My man Green Machine in the 73 percentile of knockout rate. Keep going down. So if you gonna say one dude need to fight punches, they keep away from him. Man, tell El Spitz to go fight punches. You played yourself. You played yourself with that because you don't study before you get to talking. El Spitz ain't fought no punches either. Secondly, we're moving on. I checked all the rankings. All the rankings got my man Terence Crawford above Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, Keith Thurman. So you telling me the dude who's ranked either 1 or 2 needs to go fight 3, 4, 5, or 6 to get back in the 1 or 2 discussion? He already at the 1 or 2 discussion. He don't need to fight the dudes below him to prove to the TVB universe that he's 1 or 2. Everybody thinks he's 1 or 2. All the rankings got him 1 or 2. He don't need to do none of that. Do you want to see him fight them dudes? Hell yeah. Want to and need to. 2 different things. Don't nobody need to see him beat no fucking Porter to think, oh my God, he's just as good as fucking Spence. They already think that. Then he ain't got to fight Danny. What you should be doing is telling Danny, hey man, get that WBO belt. Tell him you'll take that $4 million. You go show that you ain't just a 4 or 5 gate holder at the fucking 147 division. Because right now he a motherfucking gate holder. Tell that motherfucker, let go of that gate. Stop being a bitch. Let go of that gate. Call up Bob and say, man, we'll take that shit and we'll come beat your ass. Be a fucking man. Go make your own lane at 147. Make your own lane. Man, please. None of them want that dude. And for the white dude Steve who called in, listen, my man, when you're good, people don't want to fight you. I don't know who the fuck told you that people want to fight Wilder. Hell no. People want to fight Wilder. People don't want to fight Ortiz because they can get their ass kicked for nothing. They'd rather go make more money and get their ass kicked for more money. But in Danny's case, he'd rather go make less money and get a win instead of challenging himself. That's real. That's fact. If you don't think it's fact, challenge that shit and I'll get off the show. You know my shit is real. My shit is authentic. If you can't say TBV without putting CYP in it. I'm out.
Yeah, I won't even entertain a debate about percentages and excluding the names of the fighters is just outright ridiculous. We're going to the DMV.
Dollar D Beyonce Productions.
J Hardcore Boxing. You know some shit about boxing. Boxingwords.com.
What up, Jay, big dog?
What's up, boy? Being entertained like a motherfucker on here, boy.
I'm telling you.
Definitely got me laughing today. Hey, man, I definitely want to see Crawford fight some people, man. I don't see why he got to give the belt up because I want to see Undisputed, to be honest, in the 147. What problem I do have is that this me and Sean need to sit down and have a talk, and it's up to us if we make a decision if we want to fight. Man, fuck that bullshit. Ain't no friends in boxing, man. Let's get this shit on. There's no excuse. And even Sean talking a little funny, talking about now why do Bob Earl want me to fight. At first he said that I'm not, on his level, this, that, and the other. All of a sudden now he want me to fight Crawford. That shit sounds like some bullshit, man. You got a PBC fighter over there that you can fight. Fight the motherfucker, man. It's a hell of a barometer because he gave Spence a hell of a fight. Fight him, beat him, and shit. That's just going to put the boots more on Spence's neck to fight you. I mean, I don't think that Spence don't want to fight him. I think they just trying to get that money together so the shit is worth. They both can get paid. But I want to see an Undisputed in 147. That's something I definitely want to see. I want to see Crawford fight somebody. I'm tired of these no-namers and shit, man. And that's pretty much my call, man. It's J Hardcore Boxing News. I'm out of here. Keep up with animation. Peace.
Jay.
Yo, what up?
How long you been watching boxing?
I mean, shit, I've been, you know how this, come on, you ain't got to ask me that question. Go ahead and say what you need to say, though.
Oh, nah, I'm just trying to figure it out. For the listeners, how long?
You know I've been watching, I've been watching boxing since I was 8 years old.
And in your opinion, does it matter who you knock out, or does it matter that you just knocking out?
Does it matter who you knocking out, or does it matter that you just knocking people out? No, it matters who you knock out because you can knock out a bunch of bums.
Thank you, man. How many years you been watching?
I've been watching. I just said it, and that's since I was 8. I'm 51.
Thank you, man, for your knowledge, bro. Appreciate that. There's no sarcasm in this. I'm just, I'm just putting that out
That's
there to
all
the.
good.
I'm
It's
just
all
putting that
good.
out there to the universe, So we had some people call in talking about percentages, like that fucking matters. Fuck, Lou DiBella could set me up. I'll have 100 KOs. You match me up properly. It matters who you're knocking out. But thank you, man. It took your years of expertise to bless us. Joshua in New Orleans, you get another minute and 30. Stainless wants you back.
Yeah, somebody must be like what I'm saying. Like I'm saying, Ness, I don't have a problem with you personally. I just have a problem when you allow callers like Steve to come on this show and say that hate or that crazy shit. I notice when the Bud hate come on the show, you don't have the energy to cut the bullshit off. But if Canelo come on, the Canelo hate come on, you cut that shit off. You got one dude trying to move up, and after he cleared out a weight division the real way, not at 155, but at 140, got all the belts, moves up in his first title defense, gets a belt at 147. You got a guy who's been avoiding fighters for the last 6 years since 155 because he couldn't really make 154 because he was fighting at a catch weight. But your energy is the same. You got Deontay Wilder who's going across the street, making the fights happen, paving his way, keeping his belt. But you on here on this show today trying to tell us why Crawford should what? Leave the belt so Daniel Garcia could get the vacant belt? And then all the PBC get all the belts because Daniel Garcia will move up because he's number 3 right now in the WBO. If Bud did lead drop the belt and then it'll move up and then they'll all have the belt. And then when he moving up through the rankings, which they're not trying to fight him now, so why would they even try to fight him then? It's like I don't get what did Bud do you, man? Like why are you trying to spin it to where it doesn't work out in his favor? And consistently your energy is always the same. You respect the hate.
Cut it. I mean, we got a lot of super chats that I ain't know yet.
Stunner, talk to me in New Jersey.
My mic, yo.
Jersey in the building, man. All right, man. Let me establish something, man, because I'm tired of niggas keep referencing Wilder and Crawford. Like, I'm sick of y'all niggas doing this shit. Ness, can you help me out with this? This rematch between Wilder and Fury was already done in
Man, you the same nigga last night with this rematch shit?
Wait. I'm saying October of 2018. Wasn't the Wilder and Fury rematch already set? True or false? It was set, right?
I don't know dates, bro. I don't know dates. I would have to Google.
I'm saying this to say this. This Wilder Fury rematch was set long before this Top Rank shit. So y'all niggas need to stop referencing, oh, Wilder Fury ain't gonna fight, so there's no side to the street. No, motherfucker.
Oh my God, Stunner, what don't you get, Stunner? Who is he the same caller from yesterday?
Nullified the fucking rematch.
Look,
Did you
talking about? You know what? Look, stop talking about PBC fighters. Hey, Bud, go fight Jose Ramirez. I think he's gonna beat you. After what
Come
I just
on,
seen.
man.
That's
No, man. That's a 140 pounder. No, man. No, just no. Come on, bro. I guess that's everybody.
We got super chats, man, right quick. Coming from Alexander Wilson. I still feel that Mikey is not with PBC. I see them making Mikey and Crawford in the summer of 2020. Hearn was not problems work with Top Rank. Okay. We got another one coming from Mr. Wilson. He says Khan got $5 million because he brought in a lot of international TV money to the fight. That fight was pay-per-view on BT Sports. Wow, I didn't even know that.
Let me just address that, man. And that's fine, you know what I mean? They got their fight of the bag, but it didn't help in the long scheme of things, like what he wants. He wants the Earl fights and the other belts. He, being Crawford, said he wants to unify and be undisputed. Fighting Khan didn't help that in any way.
Boxing IQ 360 says, what PBC fighter has offered Bud a title shot? Good point.
None at all. And you tell me, why should they when they got 3 of the belts and Pacquiao over there? They're busy. They are busy with all the inventory that they have.
It's about making good fights, though, brother.
And are you telling me that those fights aren't good? You didn't like Thurman and Porter?
I'm not saying that they
But
are
did you
or
like it?
they
Did you
aren't,
like
but
it? You said it's about making good fights. I'm asking you now, did you like Thurman and Porter?
that was like 3 years ago, my nigga.
Did you
So
like
yeah,
it?
it was a good fight, but
Okay, did you like now Porter and Garcia?
Can I answer the question how I want to and not how you want me to answer it? Or if not, I'm not going to answer the question.
Oh, I didn't know you needed to say more than yes to say if you
I
liked
do.
it. Okay, there was
You gotta
something
keep
wrong with it?
coming back, you know what I'm saying, with questions. Yes, it is. We great fight. Thurman and Porter and Earl, great fight. Danny and Porter, great fight. But there's a guy over there that we want to see in the mix with those guys. Those guys are not all fighting each other at the same time. Danny is not fighting Sean or whoever next. Keith is probably gonna come back to a tune-up. So let's see those guys with a sprinkle of bud in there. That's all we saying.
Again, you said you want the best fights. Those are good fights. Danny versus anybody is good. If Danny versus Porter, Crawford is good, how could Danny versus Thurman, Sean Porter, and Earl Spence not be good? It has to be good. You know what I mean? Don't make sense. All those fights that they're making over there are good. Now, is Danny versus Red Chat good? No, but Danny was scheduled to fight Earl in January. But somehow, because we hating, Danny is fighting Red Chak and, he should be fighting. He was fighting Earl, who people said he was already ducking. So I don't understand.
Samuel Curtin says Amir Khan negotiated that $5 million nest. He did not take the first offer.
Yeah, I'm sure.
SG Pass come back. Shout out to Steve in Chicago. If Loma gets a fight with Tank before Crawford fights anyone for PBC, the debate is over. We got one from Mr. CYP. Who has Brooke knocked out? Go ahead. Tell us. Come back with Mr. CYP. So again, who has Brooke dropped? And yes, he is the hardest puncher on Spence record, while Khan stopped Zuda. My bad. And we got one from Mr. CYP, last one. Man, y'all got to quit this shit, bro. I ain't going to read that, man.
Nah, read it. And take this $2. $2. Whatever that means. They can have an inside joke. I'm okay. They are deflecting. It's just the bottom line. I'm going to continue to compare Wilder and Crawford. And if the debate is that Wilder has 41 fights and 2 people on his resume, well, then Crawford has 36 fights and 2 people on his resume. It's just that simple. The energy is the same. You guys just don't like it that it's the same. You know what I mean? You want me to protect him and not say the truth. But that is the truth. 2 people on his resume. 126-pounder and one 147-pounder that just lost to a stripper. You tell me. I'm hating, though.
At 160.
I'm hating, though. Yep, at 160. Safada. Claim to fame being knocked out by Peter Quillen.
At 160 or 168?
160. NO, talk to us.
NO say good. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I gave it to him. I gave it to him. I forgot that quick because I want all the smoke. I guess that's everyone. We out, man. Someone in the chat said, Ness, you ain't get to me. They name in the chat is Sweets, but you are not on Skype as Sweet, and you're not on Blog Talk as a number that's pressed 1 that I don't know. So if you're on Blog Talk, you need to press 1 now. And the only number there, let me see. Oh, we got to Anthony and Charlotte, so I don't know what he talking about. Yeah. Who's this?
Hello?
Yes.
This is Sean in Boston.
What up, Sean?
Are you Sweets in the chat?
Yes. Ness, I've been getting ducked for 3 days.
Doggy, you know why you just went to you? Because you finally pressed 1. If you don't press 1, you don't show up.
Shit, okay, yeah, okay. Okay, my bad.
So your name is Shane from Boston?
Sean.
Sean, what up, Sean, man? How you living?
Talk to us.
What's up, man? I gotta give you three real quick points here, man. Here's the thing you guys aren't mentioning. Everybody failed to mention. Crawford's ready to go, man. He's been talking about retirement at 33 years old for 5+ years. You know what I mean? So he don't have all these fights where he's gonna fight Danny, he's gonna fight Thurman, he's gonna fight Spence. He's got to get these fights now. He's got 3-4 fights max left, and those fights got to be Spence, Pacquiao. And if Mayweather was to make a return, it's got to be Mayweather, man. How do you not have the pound-for-pound number one the last 10 years, fight the best pound-for-pound fighter, or one of, if he's not the best, one of best pound-for-pound fighters right now? I don't see how you don't do that. And, everybody's saying, giving Spence the excuse of coming back from a car crash, but you say, coming back from a car crash, a guy's about to retire or at the age where he thought he was going to retire, seems like this is the time.
All right, brother. Well, thanks for calling in. That is all our callers. Want to thank everybody for tuning in. Catch me on Untitled later on tonight. The post is out. Put your questions in the post. NestGTO, Instagram, and Twitter. Catch me on the next one.
Follow me on IG at Gross1911 or on Twitter at Gross2312. I'm with Ness, man. Something gotta happen so we can get these big fights. I just don't agree that dropping the belt should be the solution. So hopefully we can all come together as a boxing, you know what I'm saying, or world and make these fights happen. But yeah, you can also follow me on YouTube at Mike on Sports. NFL Week 15 review coming in about an hour or so. Yeah, peace out.